Chapter 341. Backstage. After the people from XMAU left, Fong Ping became much more serious. Fighting XMAU is just for fun. MCMAU is in the top 10. No one will choose to challenge MCMAU. The key is still the three schools I mentioned. Don't let your guard down. Understood? Chen Wenlong responded. He thought for a while and asked, "Your vitality is very strong. It's all right." Fong Ping smiled. "Should be a little stronger than you guys." Chen Wenlong was speechless, but he did not care too much. He pondered for a moment and said, "If it's convenient, convenient." Vitality, 3,200 calories. Fong Ping's ability to answer was very strong. Chen Wenlong did not feel hurt. He only sighed. "If your combat techniques are cultivated to a high level, you won't need us at all. You can defeat the other 19 teams by yourself." He was not joking. 3,200 calories vitality. What did that mean? A normal peak rank for martial artist vitality limit was about 2,000 calories. A twice-honed martial artist vitality was slightly higher, below 2,400 calories. A thrice-honed martial artist vitality usually did not exceed 2,600 calories. How much did Fong Ping have? 3,200 calories. Yao Qingjun and the rest of the martial artists in the competition this time were not weak. Wang Jinyang and Li Hansong's vitality might be around 2,600 calories or even higher. Because their bodies had mutated, they could withstand stronger vitality. It definitely did not exceed 3,000 calories. Chen Wenlong was sure of this. If it really exceeded 3,000 calories, he could see it when Li Hansong was ranked. Fong Ping's vitality was much higher than theirs, and it had broken through the 3,000 calories limit. This meant that Fong Ping's vitality was much stronger than theirs. Fong Ping's mentality was strong, and so was his physique. In terms of weapons, Fong Ping was definitely not weak after changing his weapon. If Fong Ping's combat techniques were cultivated deeply, coupled with the advantage of fast vitality recovery, it was not an exaggeration to defeat 19 teams alone. Fong Ping shook his head. "Don't underestimate those guys. I'm a genius, and they're not weak either. They've been stuck at this stage for a while. Also, once I unleash my true strength, even if they want to fight me at the same level, they'll consider the school's interests. If I fight one of Yao Qingjun and the rest will probably try to break through rank 5 during this time. Just entered rank 5. That's for other people. Once they break through the limit of rank, the strength of their vitality and body won't be weaker than mine. Do you understand what I mean?" Chen Wenlong nodded. If he really wanted to break through to rank 5, Fong Ping would not care even if the average peak rank for martial artist vitality increased and their physique became stronger. However, geniuses were geniuses because they were different from the masses. If Yao Qingjun broke through, his mentality would be stronger, even stronger than Fong Ping's. When Li Hansong broke through, his vitality and physique would become extremely strong. Because his skull was naturally formed, he had the capital to do so. It was the same for Wang Jinyang. When these people broke through to the next rank, the increase in their strength was obvious. As for Fong Ping, he had just entered this stage. His peak rank had not stabilized yet. Although his 5 viscera had been honed, it was only the preliminary stage. He had not thoroughly honed them yet. At this time, he could not simply break through, or else it would easily leave behind hidden dangers. As they were talking, Qin Fengqing ran back happily. His jacket had been taken off, and it was full of alloy fragments. Before Fong Ping could say anything, Qin Fengqing said immediately, "Go back and distribute it. The people from CCMEU will be here soon." Fong Ping glanced at him. "You kid, you're not planning to share it with me, are you?" He had already expected this. However, Qin Fengqing was too green. Very soon, Tang Feng appeared backstage. His expression was slightly dark. He said in a low voice, "Enough fooling around." Fong Ping had guessed that he would come. He smiled and said, "Instructor Tang, I'm not fooling around. I've thought about it. These alloys will be used as the Martial Arts Society's public funds to continue training new students. CCMU's foundation is deeper than ours. We don't have to be too concerned about our reputation. After all, it's what our students do." To be honest, For the sake of MCMU's greatness, I don't care if it's embarrassing or not. One day, when MCMU students are strong, I'll be satisfied with less sacrifices and less blood in the catacombs. As for reputation, it's nothing. When MCMU tramples the catacombs in the future, who will care about the ridiculous things we did when we were young? In this life, people can't only think about themselves. If I only think about myself, why would I care about these things now? Tang Feng was slightly stunned. Suddenly, there was an indescribable feeling in his heart. This was Fong Ping? The Fong Ping who always smiled cheekily in front of others as if nothing mattered to him, had always been thinking about MCMAU. Fong Ping interrupted him with a smile. Instructor, I know that you have some prejudice against me. It's okay. I also know that you're doing this for my own good and for MCMAU's good. However, an individual's path is different. You might be thinking about individual bravery, but I might be thinking a little more than you think. MCMAU's greatness, Sino Nation's greatness, humanity's greatness. It sounds a little ridiculous. I'm just a rank for martial artist, yet I'm worried about so many things. But this is my path. I want to keep walking it like this. It's fine if you understand or not. Maybe you think that I'm embarrassing you. No, it's not embarrassing. Tang Feng said in a low voice. Well done. Fong Ping, perhaps I really have different considerations from you. Maybe people of my generation are not as broad-minded as you. If you think it's right, then do it. Tang Feng, may not be good at other things, but I still have some martial strength. I'll support you in MCMU. Thank you for your support, instructor. Fong Ping smiled casually. He looked at the angry Qin Fengqing and said, Qin Fengqing, hand these things over to the Martial Arts Society. Qin Fengqing, as an MCMU student, the old vice-chancellor's grand disciple, or rather, half a disciple, don't you want to fulfill the old vice-chancellor's last wish? One school and one catacombs. Is this something that you can compare to? Qin Fengqing's expression kept changing. Fine, keep it for yourself. The next day, when our MCMAU instructors and students die in battle in a foreign land, you, Qin Fengqing, remember to shed a few tears for us. Consider it a token of our gratitude. Fong Ping, don't give me that. Qin Fengqing looked annoyed. After a while, he said, I'll give it all to you. I knew it. Mother asterisk Kerr. I knew that with Fong Ping around, I won't be able to reap any benefits. I actually foolishly believed his words. This guy is too good at talking. If I don't give it to him, for the sake of this bit of alloy, MCMU instructors and students will die in battle in the future. That will be Qin Fengqing's responsibility. Fong Ping did not care about his grievance. He sighed softly. With great power comes great responsibility. It's not an empty saying. Martial artists of my generation have small families and big families. When we're weak, we care about our small family. When we're strong, we care about the big family. Everything I do, I can't make everyone satisfied or convinced. But I believe that one day, you'll understand my painstaking efforts. The students, including Tang Feng, all looked solemn. They looked at Qin Fengqing again. They were a little dissatisfied. For such a small amount of wealth, did he lose the demeanor of a martial artist? Fong Ping did not continue talking about this. As he walked, he said, I've already discussed with CCMAU, XMAU, and NMAU. The e-commerce platform will be set up. The instructors will start exchanging combat techniques. Instructor Tang, I hope you can support me. Tang Feng frowned slightly. You discussed it? They agreed? Yes. If nothing unexpected happens, it shouldn't be a big problem. Having said that, Fong Ping added, other than these few schools, I'll talk to a few more to deepen the communication and exchange. For now, the university's higher-ups don't have to show up. We students can organize it. This way, if there's a problem, the university will have an excuse, and it'll all be my responsibility. I don't care what people say. I hope the instructors can understand that I, Fong Ping, am not fighting for power. I know myself well. Everything I have now is given to me by the university. The Grandmasters treat me like their own son. To say that I'm fighting for power is just a joke. Tang Feng nodded. I'll make this clear to the vice-chancellor and the others. Fong Ping laughed. He turned his head to look at Chen Wenlong and the others. His tone was sincere. Actually, I have a presumptuous request. If I say it, everyone might think that I'm too greedy, but I still have to say it. I hope that after you graduate, you can continue to stay in MCMAU as instructors. MCMAU has 1,000 things to do now. Fong Ping, am just one person. The instructors are getting on in years. We're still young. We can contribute more to the university and fight for a few more years. Of course, compared to other places, it might be hard on all of you. If you go to the military department, the Department of Investigation Services, or other government departments, you can all be in high positions. You won't just be instructors supervising a few students. It's a waste of your talents. Zhang Yu immediately said, "Don't say that. The achievements we have today are all given to us by the university. It's all thanks to the instructor's guidance. I don't represent others. After I graduate, I'll continue to teach in MCMAU." Liang Fenghua added, I'll stay too. Out of the 10 members, 4 or 5 of them agreed to stay. Chen Wenlong looked conflicted. He was already a commander-in-chief in the military department. Fong Ping saw the situation and smiled. Senior Chen, you don't have to feel bad. You can continue to work in the military department. I just hope that one day, when MCMU needs you, Senior Chen, you can give MCMU some help. I'll do my best. Before CLA could say anything, Fong Ping said, CLA, you still have a long way to go before you graduate. Let's talk about it after. CLA did not say anything. Fong Ping looked at Qin Fengqing again. With a faint smile, he said, other than MCMU, you have nowhere else to go. Do whatever you want. Qin Fengqing was instantly enraged. He asked, what do you mean? You know. Fong Ping was too lazy to say more. Don't others know what kind of person you are? The military department is so strict. If they let you go, it'll be too scary. Other places were more or less the same. If you don't stay in MCMAU, after 3 to 5 months, you'll either be a loner or have to return to MCMAU. Fong Ping was too lazy to persuade him. At this moment, Qin Fengqing was so sullen that he was about to explode. Just wait and see. Qin Fengqing, will not stay in MCMAU. As long as Fong Ping was in MCMAU, he felt that he would not be able to make a name for himself. It was too sullen. Also, why were the others so easy to fool? Lian Tang had actually sided with Fong Ping. If he stayed in MCMAU, what good would he get? Qin Fengqing glanced at Tang Feng. Big idiot. Fong Ping said some nonsense, and you took it seriously? Just wait and see. If Fong Ping tortures you to death and makes you do manual labor without any benefits, let's see if you regret it. He looked at the heavy alloy fragments in his arms again. No matter how he looked at it, he hated it. Next time something like this happens, even if Fong Ping throws money in front of me, I won't take it. 3rd of December. In the morning, it was SCMU versus MCMAU. In the afternoon, it was CCMU versus Donglin. Fong Ping was quite interested in these 2 matches. In the morning, Fong Ping went to the gym alone to watch the excitement. CCMU did not change its mind and continued to compete indoors. However, there was a rumor that after the battle of the top 10 was confirmed, they would choose to fight outdoors. Initially, Fong Ping did not care. He was the one who suggested it. However, when he saw that they had changed to a new stage, the alloy quality of the new stage seemed to be ridiculously good. Fong Ping almost slapped himself. MCMU would not have a chance to go on stage before the battle of the top 10. In other words, he would not have a chance to break this stage, nor would he have a chance to let others take advantage of it. Damn it! Before the competition started, Fong Ping suddenly slammed his hand on the seat. CCMU was too much. Although he could not fill his own pockets and make things difficult for the instructors, entering the martial arts society was no different from putting it in his own pocket. Now, CCMU was obviously not giving him a chance. Fong Ping had just vented his anger. Beside him, Chen Yunqi asked curiously, what's wrong? Do not ask her why she was here. Although there was no MCMU competition today, her grandfather and brother were both here. She had no choice but to come. Fong Ping let out a breath and smiled. Nothing. I just thought of something unpleasant. All right, why don't you go to the second floor? It's the same here. Fong Ping smiled and looked up at the second floor. Forget it, he would not go. If he went to XMAU, the old man would probably take the opportunity to flip out. In the end, he did not go up. Instead, someone came down. Chun Yaoting walked over slowly. He glanced at Fong Ping and said carelessly, "Kid, what do you think about SCMAU in this round of competition?" SCMU will definitely win, of course. Fong Ping smiled. But, say it. But SCMU can only advance by beating up the girls. Now, SCMU has actually widened the gap between it and the famous schools. Chun Yaoting's expression did not change. It was as if he did not hear him. Fong Ping said again, "Vice Chancellor Chun, I want to further expand the range of martial arts universities in the near future. CCMAU, NMAU, XMAU, and many other martial arts universities have chosen to join. I wonder if SCMU has this thought? Just by relying on your e-commerce platform? Of course not. Forget it. You might not understand even if I tell you. I'll ask Yinshi to come up with a brief future plan later. I'll find a chance to talk to President Shinhauerin. You won't stop me, right? I don't care about that. Just don't hurt SCMEU's instructors and students. That won't happen. I, Fong Ping, am not that kind of person. Let's not talk about others. Yunshi is also a member of MCMAU. SCMU and MCMAU are actually family. Chun Yaoting said faintly. MCMU students include the descendants of all the martial arts university instructors. If that's the case, we're all family? You could say that. Fong Ping smiled again. Martial arts universities are originally family. It's a pity that you're not the Minister of Education. Old Chun, you overestimate me. The current me has reached my limit as MCMAU's Vice Chancellor. Chun Yaoting choked. Do you think I'm complimenting you? All right. He did not know what to say anymore. Is MCMU's Vice Chancellor that worthless in your eyes? He glanced sideways at his granddaughter. Was that a look of worship? Chun Yaoting felt a little tired. He said lightly, "Let's watch the competition. Yunshi, after the competition, go backstage and interact more with SCMU students." When he said this, the old man was thinking about keeping the goodies within the family. His granddaughter should find a good candidate in SCMU to talk to. Although SCMU was not as good as MCMAU, they had many prodigies. Rank for students were all prodigies. Moreover, they were cultivated by him. Naturally, he had feelings for them. In the end, Chun Yunshi seemed to have misunderstood. She said dryly, "Grandpa, I'm only rank 3. I can't beat them. When I reach rank 4, I'll lead the team to SCMAU." Kacha! The old man crushed the metal fence he was holding on to. I said exchange, not spar. Why are you only thinking about leading the team to SCMAU? Are you still my granddaughter? He smiled and said, "There will be plenty of opportunities. Yunshi, stay in school after graduation. You can often lead the team to SCMAU for exchange." Can I stay in school? Chun Yunshi seemed happy. Yes, you can. Work hard and strive to reach rank for as soon as possible. When you graduate as a rank 5, you won't be considered weak even among the instructors. Then, will you stay in school? Of course. If nothing goes wrong, I'll probably take over MCMAU after graduation. I believe that when that time comes, MCMU will be unimaginably powerful. I believe it too. The metal fence in Chun Yaoting's hand had already been crushed to pieces. Fong Ping glanced at it from the corner of his eye and secretly swallowed. If nothing went wrong, Chun Yaoting might achieve Golden Body within 3 years. Golden Body? He did not know how long it would take. He might not be able to defeat this old man. Chapter 342. South Capital Martial Arts University versus Magic City Women's University. In a situation where female martial artists were rare, the moment a female student from Shanghai went up the stage, the audience immediately cheered. As for South Capital Martial Arts University, the atmosphere was cold and cheerless when they went on stage. Chun Yaoting did not seem to mind. Fong Ping, on the other hand, sighed and said, "This popularity. Old Chun, when it's time to invest, you still have to." Chun Yaoting remained silent. Fong Ping coughed softly and said, I'm serious. In this day and age, even good wine needs to be hidden in deep alleys. The South Capital's reputation was not prominent. Even if they got the title of one of the top 10 famous schools, under the same circumstances, they would still be among the top 10 famous schools. The other schools were more famous, so of course I would choose the other schools. The future belongs to the young. The young people of today have a better cultivation environment than us, and their progress is faster. Chen Yaoting said lightly, You're not 20 yet. You speak as if you are very old. Better cultivation environment than yours? Have you passed the golden training period or something? After rebutting Fong Ping, Chen Yaoting suddenly asked, How do I invest? Fong Ping's interest was immediately piqued. He smiled and said, First, strength. Of course, SCMU was slightly weaker, but it wasn't obvious this time. Second, build momentum. At least when the people from South Capital Martial Arts University went on stage, the atmosphere in the audience reached a climax. They all looked very excited. Thirdly, if they were slightly weaker, they could learn from the Shanghai Women's College and have handsome guys and beautiful girls join the battle to attract attention. Fourthly, the fastest way to spread nowadays is still the internet. Put more effort into the internet and write some articles to promote SCMAU. For example, when a certain someone entered SCMAU, he achieved rank 3 in 1 year, rank 5 in 3 years, 5th. They should shout their slogans louder, such as surpassing CCMAU in 3 years, defeating MCMAU in 5 years, striving for first place, and so on. Even if everyone knows that you are not as good as the two of us, it still gives people the illusion that the South Capital is the third best. Sixth, as SCMAU, which is close to Capital City, is also one of the elite schools in the north. Provoke CCMAU more, regardless of whether you win or lose. If you dare to provoke them, everyone will remember CCMAU, and they will remember SCMAU. This is called hype, and it's also to ride on the popularity. Evil and crooked. Chen Yaoting scolded him and ignored Fong Ping. However, the old man pondered in his heart. Would his grandson be able to do this? Forget it. If it doesn't work, I'll find a professional to do it. There is no shortage of such talents in SCMAU. Fong Ping curled his lips. If they wanted to do it, then so be it. Ignoring Chen Yaoting, Fong Ping started watching the match. Chen Haoren, the strongest fighter from South Capital, was the starter. Upper stage rank for Chen Haoren's opponent was a middle stage rank for girl from MCWU. She was also the girl who had scolded Qin Fengqing last time. The two of them quickly exchanged blows. After watching for a while, Fong Ping suddenly became extremely displeased. He shouted, Martial artists don't differentiate between men and women. They're just playing. As soon as those words were spoken, Chen Haoren, who had been standing on the stage modestly, suddenly exerted his strength. His speed and strength increased by 30%, and in less than 10 moves, he swiftly defeated his opponent. Fong Ping curled his lips slightly and got up to leave. Chen Yaoting didn't say anything. After he left, Chen Yaoting looked at his granddaughter, who was still looking around, and said, He's quite a character, but he's in the period of martial arts advancement. I'm afraid he won't think too much about relationships. Chen Yunqi blushed and said softly, I know. Of course, martial arts experts should fight for what they deserve. Chen Yaoting smiled faintly. The prerequisite is that you have enough strength. If you don't have enough strength, you'll be completely dominated by others. This isn't the style of children of martial artists. You're only a middle stage rank 3 now. You're too far behind. Cultivate well. Having said that, the old man took out a wooden box from his pocket and handed it to his granddaughter. His eyes were filled with affection as he smiled and said, Don't delay your cultivation. Chen Yunqi opened the wooden box curiously. Inside was an energy stone the size of an egg. Chen Yunqi's mouth opened slightly. A cultivation-aiding energy stone? It was so big, at least 200 grams. This could be sold for at least 200 million outside. Grandpa, this should be given to second brother. If he wants it, he'll fight for it himself. This is a gift from Grandpa. You're not a SCMAU student, so Grandpa won't be using his authority for personal gain. Chen Yaoting shook his head. This was what he had obtained from the catacombs. If his children and grandchildren wanted it, then they should fight for it themselves. His granddaughter's strength was slightly weaker, and she was also a girl. He still had to take extra care of her. Just as Chen Yunxi was about to speak, Fang Ping, who had walked off somewhere, appeared in front of her in a flash. After staring at the wooden box in her hand for a while, Fang Ping said faintly, "Keep it. Don't let old Chen down. With this energy stone, you won't have to worry about things like vitality before you achieve rank 4. Keep it. If it's inconvenient to carry it, I can hold it for you." Chen Yunxi did not let him hold it. She kept the wooden box properly and nodded. "Grandpa, I'll hold it then." Fang Ping felt slightly regretful. "I don't want it from you. I'll hold it for you. At most, I'll let you test its purity. Wouldn't it be tiring to hold it yourself?" Shifting his gaze away from the wooden box, Fang Ping glanced at Chen Yaoding. A grandmaster was a grandmaster indeed. A rich man. The egg-sized cultivation-aiding energy stone was taken out just like that. If he had not sensed the energy fluctuation, he would have missed it. If that silly girl Chen Yunxi did not want it, it would be a huge loss. Instead of giving it to old Chun to strengthen SCMU, Chen Yunxi was still a member of MCMAU. "Old Chun, have you ever seen a cultivation-aiding energy stone the size of a human head?" Chun Yaoding smiled without saying a word. "Old Chun, give Yunxi one the size of a human head next time. This isn't quite enough. I'll make the decision this time. Yunxi can go to MCMU's energy room and burn and release energy stones there to cultivate." Chen Yaoding glanced at him. Humans could use the cultivation-aiding energy stones to cultivate directly. However, rank 3 martial artists were too weak to cultivate. They might not be able to absorb much energy in one go. They had to constantly absorb and convert energy through their own efforts. MCMU's energy room, on the other hand, could release energy directly, saving a lot of effort. SCMU did not have this condition. The construction of the energy room was expensive. Fang Ping said that he would make the decision to let Chen Yunxi cultivate there. It would not be too difficult to use Chen Yunxi's own energy stones, but not everyone could do it. However, Chen Yaoding would not thank him. He smiled faintly and said, "This is MCMU's own business." "That's true. Old Chun, when can you deliver the head-sized energy stone?" Chen Yaoding ignored him. He wanted to get as far away from him as possible. "Head-sized? Do you know how heavy an energy stone of that size is? More than 10 kilograms. If this thing really appeared, even grandmasters would be jealous. Moreover, unless it was deep in the energy mine, it was almost impossible to see such a large high-purity energy stone." Seeing that he was ignoring him, Fang Ping felt slightly regretful again. "I've never seen such a big one. It's good to take it out for me to broaden my horizons. Not to mention such a big one. It was his first time seeing one the size of an egg." "Don't waste time here, Yunxi. Go back to MCMAU in the afternoon. I'll let the school know. Go to the energy room to cultivate." "In the afternoon?" Chen Yunxi looked surprised. The competition was not over yet. It's still early before MCMU's competition. There's no point in wasting time here. We're different. We've been cultivating for so long, and we're still at the bottleneck stage. You should enter rank for as soon as possible. This time, Chen Yaoding supported her. Go to MCMAU to cultivate. The top 10 competition is still a few days away. Also, MCMU won't lose easily unless it's the fight for first place. There's no suspense in the fight for first place, Fang Ping interrupted. Chen Yaoding continued to ignore him. It was tiring to communicate with Fang Ping. This kid always liked to interrupt. Seeing that both of them said so, Chen Yunxi thought for a while and nodded. "All right then, I'll go back first. I'll come back when it's the finals." Fang Ping nodded slightly. He did not stay any longer. His figure moved and disappeared again. Chen Yaoding saw that and smiled. This kid's nose was really sharp. He suspected that if he took out another energy stone now, this kid would appear again very soon. Mentality is really not weak. Chen Yaoding murmured. If this kid could really fight to the point of being invincible in the middle ranks, he would almost certainly win in the higher ranks. MCMU had really picked up a treasure. There was not much suspense in the morning's competition. Although the upper stage rank, Chen Haoren, did not defeat 5 times, he still defeated 3 rank for martial artists from MCMAU. The remaining two rank 3 martial artists were easily defeated by SCMAU's number 2. This time, 7 of the normal martial arts universities had fought their way through. However, other than NMAU, Fangping did not think that any other university had any hope of entering the top 10 rankings. The afternoon's competition was CCMU versus Donglin Martial Arts University. Fangping went to take a look and left immediately. Li Hansong did not fight. The first to fight was another person in the top 100 list, Qin Zhe. Although Qin Zhe, who was ranked in the top 100 list, was not as good as Li Hansong, he was much stronger than the average peak rank for martial artist. Donglin Martial Arts University also knew that it was almost impossible for them to win. In order to preserve their strength, they did not put in too much effort. Qin Zhe defeated all of them alone. Fangping watched one match and left immediately. There was not much suspense. 2 days. For matches, there was almost no suspense. NSMS, MCMEU, SCMEU, and CCMEU advanced smoothly. December 4th, SNMU versus Beijing Martial Arts University in the morning. FMS versus East Sino Nation Normal University in the afternoon. These two matches were much more intense than the previous ones. Second floor of the gym. On the 4th, XMAU's Vice-Chancellor Feng did not come. Naturally, Fangping would not squeeze in on the first floor. He went straight to the second floor. He was not the only one there. At this moment, Wang Jinyang, Li Hansong, and the others were also there. The other members of a few teams were also watching the matches from the side. On the stage, SNMEU's Liu Shiji was fighting with the president of Beijing Martial Arts University. Liu Shiji, peak rank 4, ranked 48th in the top 100 list. It was not a low ranking. SNMU was also the strongest among the 8-school alliance. Previously, it was ranked 3rd in the country, second only to the Big 2. Fangping watched for a while, then turned his head to look at Wang Jinyang and smiled. NMU against SNMAU. That's going to be a little troublesome. Wang Jinyang's strength was naturally very strong. However, if he encountered Liu Shiji, even if he won, it would not be too easy for him. Moreover, SNMU still had 4 rank 4s. One of them was upper stage, and the other was middle stage. Wang Jinyang might not be able to defeat them. Wang Jinyang nodded slightly, but he still smiled. It's a little troublesome, but it should still be bearable. Although Liu Shiji was strong, he was definitely no match for him. Wang Jinyang still had this much confidence. Wang Jinyang aside, Qin Fengqing said confidently, "If I encounter Liu Shiji, let me go. I'm too lazy to fight for the ranking. If I defeat him, I can also enter the rank for ranking." "You?" Fangping smiled. "That's enough. We know each other very well. Unless Liu Shiji doesn't fight back and lets you chop him, you're still lacking." Qin Fengqing snorted. "Are you looking down on me? If the battle of the top 10 isn't limited to the arena, do you think that idiot Liu Shiji can be my opponent?" Other than one saber style, speed was one of Qin Fengqing's biggest advantages. If he faced Liu Shiji head-on, he might not be his match. Comparing speed, patience, and endurance, Qin Fengqing was very confident that Liu Shiji would definitely lose in the end. The others did not care about this. Wang Jinyang, on the other hand, was a little curious. "Qin Fengqing, you're improving very fast. Upper stage rank for now." "Of course," Qin Fengqing said happily. "Just you wait. I'll surpass you sooner or later." Wang Jinyang was peak rank 1. He was peak rank 1. Wang Jinyang was peak rank 3. He had just entered rank 3. Wang Jinyang was peak rank 4. He had caught up and entered upper stage rank 4. The gap between them narrowed again. "I hope so." Wang Jinyang smiled. Qin Fengqing was still as confident as ever. As for catching up to him, if everything went smoothly, he would be rank 5 after the competition. Perhaps he might even be a little ahead. It was still too early for Qin Fengqing to enter rank 5. As they chatted, they went off topic. Li Hansong said, "Beijing Martial Arts University is actually not weak. Their fighting style is usually very straightforward. This time, they're not straightforward enough. They're probably saving their strength for the losers group competition. The real competition will be more intense before the top 10. The fight for the only place in the losers group should be more intense. Fong Ping nodded. The losers group competition this time will depend on the 8-school alliance members and Beijing Martial Arts University, who were eliminated. The other universities are a little weaker. Although Beijing Martial Arts University has fewer rank for members, having more people is useless in critical moments. Li Hansong thought for a while and said, "This time, Changjiang will fight Taishan, Capital Mining will fight Southeast, and NMU will fight South Sino. Out of these 6 universities, 3 will enter the losers group. Also, FMS will fight East Sino Nation Normal University. Yes, and NU will probably enter the losers group too. If NMU doesn't want to be challenged by the loser, I'm afraid Junior One will have to put in a lot of effort tomorrow. If NMU won against SUST, or if someone was injured, the chances of being challenged by the first place in the losers group was very high." Wang Jinyang smiled and said nothing. Of course, he had to put in a lot of effort tomorrow. Otherwise, NMU would definitely be challenged. During the conversation, Liu Shiji defeated 3 people in a row and did not continue fighting. SNMU's upper stage rank for martial artist was the second to go on stage. Against an early stage rank 4 and a peak rank 3 martial artist, he was almost completely suppressed and the battle ended quickly. Fong Ping watched and yawned. The gap between martial arts universities was still quite obvious. The first round was all about the strong fighting the weak, and the weak group did not put in much effort. It looked like a lively fight, but to Fong Ping and the others, it was not interesting at all. In the afternoon, FMS fought East Sino Nation Normal University. ESNNU was not weak either. 5 rank for martial artists, none of them upper stage, 3 of them middle stage, and 2 of them early stage. In the end, the fight was even more boring than normal martial arts universities. Yao Qingjun was the first to go on stage. ESNNU made a lot of gimmicks, but when it came to the actual fight, they focused on avoiding. After dragging it out for a minute or two, they simply followed up with a move and flew out of the arena. They did not even have to shout to admit defeat. "This is a rigged fight." Fong Ping watched 2 matches and cursed under his breath. ESNNU was really shameless in order to preserve their strength. Could they not go head-to-head with Yao Qingjun for a few rounds? After 5 rounds, Yao Qingjun did not even pant and directly defeated ESNNU. This time, ESNNU did not suffer too much criticism. Instead, Yao Qingjun's reputation grew. Compared to Fong Ping, Yao Qingjun was the 3rd rank for martial artist. He had defeated 5 rank 4s in a row, not Fong Ping's Shishan Martial Arts University. The 3rd rank for martial artist and even the 1st rank for martial artist became louder. The spectators in the outside world were just there to watch the show. Seeing how easily Yao Qingjun defeated rank for martial artists, they all thought that this guy was ridiculously strong. Coupled with his previous ranking, many people now recognized him as the 1st rank for martial artist. Fong Ping did not say it out loud, but he had muttered to himself many times. This time it was fine if others did not want to fight, but they must fight FMS. The 1st rank for martial artist was Fong Ping's. 5th of December. In the morning, NMU versus SUST. In the afternoon, YMS versus CMAU. Fong Ping came to watch again. The match between NMAU and SUST was also the most exciting match in the first round. As one of the 8-school alliance and one of the top 10 schools in the past, SUST would definitely not deliberately preserve its strength and admit defeat. Although NMAU had Wang Jinyang, he was still alone. Under such circumstances, SUST had a chance of winning. 5 rank for powerhouses, the strongest of which was an upper stage rank 4. This was their confidence. In addition, Wang Jinyang had not fought recently. His rank 4 ranking was at the bottom. This was also something that SUST would not give up. This time, it was not only Fong Ping who came. Many people came, including the winners and losers groups. Almost everyone came to watch. Among the 7 normal martial arts universities, NMU was the most unpredictable. The match soon began. At this moment, there were more grandmasters on the 2nd floor than there were 2 days ago. Whether NMU could obtain a place in the top 10 schools depended on this match. If they lost, there was not much hope. If they won, it would be difficult, and the hope was slim. Begin! When the referee gave the order, Wang Jinyang's aura instantly soared to the limit. In the midst of everyone's days, a Changdao seemed to be magnified countless times. A blood-red glow flashed, falling from the sky. The president of the Sust Martial Arts Society, an upper-stage rank for powerhouse, could not react in time and was defeated by the slash. Blood gushed out of his chest, spurting out like a fountain. Bang! At the same time as the blood spurted out, the other party suffered heavy injuries. He flew backward and landed heavily on the ground. Phew! In the arena, the sound of breathing became heavier. Many people's expressions were solemn. NMU's Wang Jinyang was unexpectedly strong. An upper-stage rank for powerhouse could not even withstand one slash and was seriously injured. He could basically say goodbye to the championship this time. On the second floor, Sus Vice-Chancellor's expression was also very heavy. He had indeed underestimated Wang Jinyang. In order to establish his dominance, Wang Jinyang attacked ruthlessly. If there were no surprises, he would continue to attack ruthlessly. If Sus continued like this, they might say goodbye to the top 10 for good. The second match also proved his guess. As soon as the second person entered the arena, the match command was given. Wang Jinyang's Changdao was so fast that it was invisible. The shadow of the saber flashed. Like the previous person, the other party fell off the arena in the same way, covered in blood. Very strong. Fang Ping frowned slightly. Wang Jinyang, a mutated martial artist, was much stronger than the average peak rank 4. There was no need to watch this match. NMU would definitely win. At Wang Jinyang's level, without a powerhouse of the same level, a few more rank 4s would not make much of a difference. Fang Ping waited until he defeated the third person with one slash before he stopped watching. He could not see anything. He would only be able to tell who was stronger or weaker when they fought. In less than 3 minutes, the referee shouted, "NMU wins." This match ended the fastest. Before this, countless people were guessing who would win and who would lose. Could NMU win? Would the two sides fight to the death? Chapter 343. Very strong. NMU easily defeated Sust. Wang Jinyang finished the battle in 5 moves. This was beyond many people's expectations. Was NMU strong? Average. It was not NMU that was strong, but Wang Jinyang himself. Before the competition, because Wang Jinyang's rank for ranking was not high, other than Fang Ping and a few others, most people thought that Wang Jinyang was not as good as Yao Qingjun and the others. At most, they thought that he was equal to MCMAU's Chen Wenlong and the others. However, when Wang Jinyang defeated the Sust Martial Arts Society president with one move, everyone dared not think that way anymore. Chen Wenlong and the other powerhouses on the ranking list might not be able to do it. The other party was not a weakling either. He was a martial arts university's strongest powerhouse. This kind of upper stage rank 4 could not be treated as a normal upper stage rank 4. Second floor. Li Hansong's expression did not change. When he saw Wang Jinyang walk down the stage, he did not say a word and walked away. On the other side, Yao Qingjun stood straight. He stared at the audience for a moment, then turned and went downstairs. Fang Ping was about to leave when Tang Feng walked over and said in a low voice, "If you meet him, are you confident?" "Of course." Fang Ping answered quickly and smiled. "If that's all, then it's far from enough. Sus' strength is still too weak. It didn't allow him to unleash his full strength. You've just entered peak rank 4, it's fine. Don't worry, instructor." Fang Ping was much more polite to Big Lion recently. He smiled and said, "At the very least, if I meet NMAU, I can easily defeat Wang Jinyang. Instructor, do you think that Senior Chun and the others can't defeat NMAU?" "That's true." Tang Feng nodded and said with slight regret, "NMU's overall strength is still a little weak. It's not a big problem to stay in the top 10, but it'll be difficult to advance further." Fang Ping nodded slightly and said with some regret, "It's a pity that he became the president. Otherwise, there's still hope for MCMAU." Tang Feng was speechless. He was thinking too much. Wang Jinyang was NMU's signature. If Fang Ping dared to poach him, several grandmasters in Nanjiang, including Zhang Dingnan, might come knocking on his door. Fang Ping did not dwell on it. He said as he went downstairs, "I won't watch the next few matches. It's meaningless." After watching NMAU's performance, Fang Ping felt that there was no need to watch anymore. Even if there were powerhouses in the other schools, there was a limit to how strong they could be. Even the strongest powerhouse would not be a match for Chen Wenlong. Fang Ping was confident about this. Without him, Chen Wenlong would be the strongest person in MCMAU. If he could not even suppress the people from these schools, then MCMU would be too useless. Tang Feng did not think that he was being arrogant. MCMU still had this bit of confidence. After the competition ended on the morning of the 5th, Wang Jinyang became famous. Although he had some fame before, he was not very famous in the circle of ordinary people. This was the first time that he had become the center of attention. Yao Qingjun had previously defeated East Hua Nation Normal University, and East Hua Nation Normal University's lineup was inferior to South Hua University of Science and Technology. Now that Wang Jinyang had defeated the South Sino University of Science and Technology in 5 moves, he could even stand shoulder to shoulder with Yao Qingjun. At the same time that Wang Jinyang became famous, a small county-level city also became famous. South River Sun City. On the internet, the discussion was in full swing. I only found out now that Sun City has produced 2 prodigy martial artists. MCMU Fang Ping and NMU Wang Jinyang are both from Sun City. I heard that Wang Jinyang and Fang Ping graduated from the same high school. One is the president of Magic City Martial Arts University's Martial Arts Society. The other is the president of Nanjiang Martial Arts University's Martial Arts Society, and they are both peak rank 4. Sun City has good feng shui. Say, between Wang Jinyang and Fang Ping, who do you think is stronger? Wang Jinyang, I think. The South Sino University that Wang Jinyang defeated is much stronger than XMAU. That's not necessarily true. Fang Ping can become the president of a famous school's martial arts society. I think Fang Ping is stronger. Will those two meet each other? For a moment, the topic of who was the strongest rank for had become a hot topic. Li Hansong, Yao Qingjun, Wang Jinyang, or Fang Ping. In this competition, among these 4 people, Li Hansong did not participate. However, everyone still remembered Li Hansong's previous challenge. The president of CCMEU's Martial Arts Society could not be that weak. Other than that, SNMEU's Liu Shiji, CCMU's Qin Zhe, and MCMU's Chen Wenlong were also brought up for discussion. Fang Ping's division into 5 tiers had also spread. Which tier did these rank for martial artists belong to? Sun City. After watching the competition, Fang Yuan looked at the discussions online. She puffed up her cheeks, looking slightly dissatisfied. My brother is definitely the strongest. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan opened QQ. At this moment in the QQ group list, there were dozens of groups. They were Yuan Ping Club Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, and so on. Sisters, go to all the forums and post. The first rank for is my brother. Our Yuan Ping Club's vice president is the strongest. Fang Yuan did it one after another, posting in dozens of groups. Soon, all the groups became restless. A group of young ladies had nothing to do anyway, so they were all enthusiastic. Soon, the online Yuan Ping Club members appeared in all the forums. Fang Ping is the strongest rank 4. Yuan Ping Club is the strongest. The first rank 4 is our vice president. Posts like this took over all the forums in an instant, even though many people looked confused. Where did Yuan Ping Club come from? Fang Ping did not pay much attention to what was happening online. It was not time to hire the Internet Water Army to build momentum. It would not be too late to build momentum after he had defeated the others. Right now, the time was not right. Although he said it casually, when NMU's competition ended, Fang Ping stopped running around and stayed in the hotel to cultivate. Ever since he broke through peak rank 4, Fang Ping stopped focusing on improving his rank and focused on combat techniques. Over the past few days, his main cultivation of Flight Step, Maha Fist, and Royal Decapitation, Heavenly Blade, had all made considerable progress. However, Fong Ping knew that the time he had spent cultivating high-rank combat techniques was too short. He had only started learning high-rank combat techniques in September. Until now, it had only been about 3 months. As for Wang Jinyang and the others, they had been cultivating high-rank combat techniques for a year. Compared to breakthroughs in combat techniques, Fong Ping could not compare. Fong Ping's strength lay in his vitality, his physique, and his recovery. The most important thing, and what gave Fong Ping the most confidence, was the results of his saber nurturing these days. Ever since he learned the accumulation technique and the outburst technique from Old Man Li, Fong Ping had been nurturing his saber. His mentality and vitality began accumulating like they were free. Now that it had been close to 2 months, Fong Ping had not drawn his saber. This saber can't be used lightly. I'm still planning to save it for rank 5. I still have to rely on myself in the early stages. In the hotel suite, Fong Ping muttered to himself. Could he easily defeat the other 3 without using his saber? He glanced at his data panel. Ever since he had entered peak rank 4, his strength had increased by a notch. Wealth, 920 million vitality, 3,100 calories, 3,229 calories. Mentality, 672 hertz, 699 hertz. Bones honed, 177 bones, 100%, 6 bones, 90%, 23 bones, 30% plus. Storage space, 1 cubic meter. Energy shield, 10,000 well/minute. These days, Fong Ping had spent a lot of wealth. Some of it was used to cultivate combat techniques, and some was used to nurture his saber. It's a pity that my mentality hasn't been able to break through. Otherwise, a mentality above 700 hertz would increase my strength again. At this moment, his physique, vitality, and mentality could no longer be improved. In terms of physical conditions, Fong Ping had already reached the peak of peak rank 4. The only thing I'm lacking is my mastery of combat techniques. But this really isn't something that can be achieved overnight. Fong Ping shook his head slightly. He remembered that he could not use his saber easily. If he really went up against Yao Qingjun and the others, it was still difficult to say who would win or lose. Why doesn't the system give me some shortcuts to improve the progress of combat techniques? That way I don't have to think so much. Fong Ping was a little greedy, but he did not think too much about it. Soon, he got up and started cultivating combat techniques. Although Fong Ping did not go to watch the competition, he did not really cut himself off from the world. News from the outside world would still reach him immediately. On the afternoon of the 5th, Yunming Military School defeated Chengzhou Martial Arts University after much difficulty. Among the 3 major military schools, Yunming was the weakest. Although they had gathered 5 rank for martial artists, 3 of them were at early stage and 2 of them were at middle stage. They were slightly weaker than South Sino University. Chengzhou Martial Arts University only had 2 rank for martial artists, but 1 of them was at middle stage. The result was somewhat unexpected. The opponent defeated the middle stage president of Yunming Military School and almost defeated 2 middle stage rank for martial artists. Chengzhou Martial Arts University's remaining early stage rank for martial artist fought with the injured middle stage rank for martial artist. Both sides fought to a draw. 3 peak rank, 3 martial artists actually defeated a rank for martial artist. They fought until Yunming Military School's 4th contestant appeared. Only then did they lose. Such a result made many people look at Yunming Military School covetously. In the winners' team, Yunming seemed to be the weakest. On the 6th of December, the last 2 matches of the first round were held. It was also a match between 4 schools in the 8-school alliance. Changjiang Martial Arts University versus Taishan Martial Arts University. Both sides were equally matched. They fought until the last contestant. Only then was the winner decided. Taishan Martial Arts University was slightly better. In the afternoon, Capital Mining University versus Dongnan Martial Arts University. Dongnan Martial Arts University was slightly better and won in the end. However, these few schools were evenly matched. Their team members also suffered some degree of injuries, making the losers' match even more suspenseful. The match on the 6th ended. The first round of the first round came to an end. There was a day of rest on the 7th. The losers' match began on the 8th. The losers' match was simple. On the 8th, there would be a 5-on-5 match. On the same day, the top 5 of the losers match would be decided. On the 9th, one team would have a bye. 4 teams would fight to decide the top 3. On the 10th, one team would have a bye. The remaining 2 teams would fight each other. The winner would fight the team that had a bye. That way, they would be able to win first place in the losers match. If they were lucky and had 2 byes in a row, they would only have to fight 2 matches. If they were unlucky, the loser would have to fight 4 matches. On the 8th of December, 5 matches were fought. The losers match was also particularly intense. It made the spectators very satisfied. In the end, East Sino-Nation Normal University, Beijing Martial Arts University, Chengzhou Martial Arts University, Magic City Women's University, and Capital City School of Mining won. In this battle, there was quite a bit of an upset. Beijing Martial Arts University defeated Changjiang Martial Arts University of the 8 School Alliance. Magic City Women's University took advantage of the situation and defeated South Sino University of Science and Technology, which was heavily injured by Wang Jinyang. Chengzhou Martial Arts University became braver the more they fought. After suffering a setback from Yunming Military School, they defeated Donglin Martial Arts University with a lineup of 2 rank for martial artists. At this point, Changjiang Martial Arts University, South Sino University of Science and Technology, Donglin Martial Arts University, Xishan Martial Arts University, and Tiananmen Martial Arts University officially withdrew from the top 10 competition. Among them, South Sino University of Science and Technology's defeat was the most humiliating. South Sino University, which had an upper stage rank for martial artist in charge, was the first to be eliminated. This almost suffocated the vice-chancellor of South Sino University to death. 2 of the 8 School Alliance withdrew from the top 10 competition. This was also beyond many people's expectations. 2 schools were fully equipped with rank for powerhouses, but they were defeated by martial arts universities with incomplete rank for martial artists. They had embarrassed themselves in front of the nation. These 2 schools did not even watch the next matches. They brought their people and left on the same day. They were too ashamed to stay in Capital City. On the 9th of December, it was unknown whether it was because of cheating or because they were really lucky. Chengzhou Martial Arts University and Capital City School of Mining were eliminated. On the 10th of December, Beijing Martial Arts University had a bye. East Sino-Nation Normal University defeated Magic City Women's University and advanced to the final round. 11th of December. Losers Bracket Finals. Fang Ping, who had not left the hotel for many days, had no choice but to leave due to Qin Fengqing's harassment. He went to CCMEU to watch the match. On the way, Qin Fengqing said excitedly, "Do you know how much fun you've missed? Yesterday, ESNNU fought Magic City Women's University. You didn't even know and got into a group fight. Who's fighting who? 2 schools." Qin Fengqing's gossipy nature was off the charts. He chattered, "ESNNU and Magic City Women's University are both in Magic City. They're not far from each other. Yesterday, the people from ESNNU fought fiercely. The president of ESNNU, that Tiger Zhou. Tiger Zhou? It's that tigress president of Magic City Women's University, Zhou Qiyue. Her top was blown up yesterday. When Qin Fengqing said this, he grinned and laughed wildly. You don't know. It was so exciting. The tigress doesn't have our leather armor. Her top was blown up, and she fought with her bra on. Ha! I'm dying of laughter. In the end, that guy from ESNNU was going to blow her up. The tigress was so mad that she admitted defeat in the end. After this incident, the people from Magic City Women's University were indignant. More than 100 girls came to ESNNU and scolded them for being despicable. ESNNU used your words to refute that martial artists don't discriminate between men and women. In the end, they started fighting. In the end, the instructors had to step in to suppress it. Fang Ping's expression darkened. The people from ESNNU better not enter the top 10. I didn't blow up a woman's top. I'm not going to take the blame. What a joke. If he took the blame, he would really become the master of wretchedness in the future. When he hit the female martial artist, it was only a personal attack. It was not a clothes-tearing attack. Not only did the president of ESNU blow up someone's top, but he also wanted to blow up her bra. This was true wretchedness. Fong Ping would not take the blame for him. Qin Fengqin gloated. That's not up to you to decide. People from ESNU always say whatever Fong Ping says. Your reputation is completely ruined. Fong Ping said disdainfully. Someone has to believe it first. My reputation is better than yours now, but I'll remember this. ESNU better not give me a chance to do so. And you, Zhou Qiyu has a close relationship with you. She was beaten up like this, and you still have the nerve to laugh at her? Qin Fengqing's expression fell. He was speechless. What relationship do I have with her? Don't talk nonsense. I'm not talking nonsense. Fong Ping said seriously. The deeper the love, the deeper the hatred. Zhou Qiyu might scold you every time you meet, but I can see the admiration and love in her eyes. She likes you. Now that your woman's top was blown up, you're not ashamed but proud. Qin Fengqing, I've misjudged you. Qin Fengqing's expression was ugly. He gritted his teeth and said, Stop talking nonsense. I'm not even close to her. You're really not close? Don't forget, you almost killed them. Logically speaking, this is a huge grudge. When enemies meet, they will definitely seek revenge. But did she do it? If she's not as strong as you, she's more likely to hide from you. But how many times have you met her? Every time she scolds you, it's to attract your attention and express her love. Look at you now. You were smiling so happily yesterday. If Zhou Qiyu saw it, I'm afraid her heart would die. You didn't meet her today, did you? Qin Fengqing's expression changed again. It seemed like he did not meet her. Sigh. My top was blown up in front of the person I like, and the person I like was watching the show. Anyone else would have given up. Qin Fengqing, men like you hurt women's hearts too much. Qin Fengqing's expression darkened completely. He said gloomily, It's just my top being blown up. It's nothing. When martial artists cultivate, they don't wear much. It's not like not everything was blown up, so you don't mind at all? If it were me, I would have blown up the people from ESNU long ago. You can tolerate this, but I can't. You like to wear hats, but I can't. Hats. The green ones. Qin Fengqing was a little dazed. Had things escalated to this stage? I'm really not close to Zhou Qiyu. Why did I become the one wearing hats? Moreover, even if I were close, there are a lot of bikini beauties on the beach and a lot of women swimming in the pool. Won't these women's men be wearing hats? Fong Ping said earnestly, Qin Fengqing, we're different from other people. Martial artists, especially female martial artists, are actually more traditional. Now that she's been humiliated in public, if Zhou Qiyu can't get over it, then you're the one who murdered her. You're too cruel? Really? Really? Qin Fengqing, you're really too cruel. I'm just looking. I didn't do it. It's fine if other people look, but who are you? Zhou Qiyu's lover. Look at her too. She doesn't even dare to fart. What's the meaning of this? Lover, Qin Fengqing was at a loss again. I'm really not close to her. Then should I comfort her? But I don't know what to say. The best way is to avenge her. Women love heroes. If you avenge her, she won't hate you anymore. Avenge? Yes. When the competition between ESNU and Beijiang is over, you don't say anything. Just beat up ESNU's president in front of everyone. You won't even leave him his underwear. That's what you call a man. That's not good. Then leave him his underwear. Fong Ping said it through gritted teeth. Those people from ESNU were tired of living. How dare they make him a scapegoat? Then what if? Are you a man or not? Forget it. If you don't want to do it, then so be it. Men like you are the most unreliable. Prepare to be a bachelor in the future. Qin Fengqing fell into deep thought. Should he really do this? Chapter 344. CCMU Gymnasium. Many people came to watch the finals of the losers bracket. However, the Grandmaster powerhouses on the second floor were fewer. Other than the first day, some Grandmasters had already left. After XMAU was eliminated, Vice-Chancellor Feng also left Capital City. At this moment, Fong Ping went up to the second floor again without any scruples. On the second floor, Qin Fengqing was still in a trance. Coincidentally, MCW's Zhou Qiyu was also on the second floor. Zhou Qiyu looked indifferent, staring downstairs. She did not greet Qin Fengqing. In fact, they were not familiar with each other, so there was no need to greet him. Fang Ping saw this and pushed Qin Fengqing, lowering his voice so that it was almost inaudible. "Look, she's ignoring you." Qin Fengqing heard this and looked up at Zhou Qiyu. Zhou Qiyu was staring downstairs, not looking at him. "You're sad." Fang Ping shook his head and sighed. "Qin Fengqing, do you really think you're so handsome and popular? You finally have a girl who likes you, and you treat her like this." Qin Fengqing said nothing. "Forget it. Just pretend this never happened. After all, if you really fight, you might not be his opponent." "Don't provoke me." Qin Fengqing snorted coldly. "He's only middle stage rank 4. I'll kill him with one slash." Fang Ping said casually. "Then what are you hesitating for?" "You're fooling me." Qin Fengqing was extremely clear-headed. "I'm not a fool like Big Lion." Fang Ping glanced at him and smiled faintly. "If that's what you think, then go ahead. Are you suspecting that I'm lying? That Zhou Qiyu doesn't like you at all?" "Nonsense. I didn't sense any love. You're just making it up." "Have you been in love before?" Qin Fengqing's face was slightly flushed. He did not want to lose. "Of course. Then do you know what characteristics a woman has when she likes a man?" Qin Fengqing pursed his lips. "Why should I tell you? You're a virgin. You won't understand even if I tell you." Fang Ping said softly. "At least I know one thing. If I say the man she likes isn't good, she'll definitely be unhappy." Having said that, Fang Ping said in a low voice, "If I scold you loudly now, do you think Zhou Qiyu will glare at me?" "How is that possible?" "Then let's make a bet." Qin Fengqing was a little suspicious now. He stared at him and said, "You just want to scold me, right?" "Nonsense. If I really wanted to scold you, would I even need to find a chance?" "I don't believe it." Fang Ping did not care about him. He suddenly shouted, "Qin Fengqing, you're a pig brain, an idiot, an idiot." He had just finished cursing when Zhou Qiyu, who had been staring downstairs, suddenly turned her head to look at him. Her eyes flashed with anger as she glared at Fang Ping. "Don't go too far." Not only did Zhou Qiyu widen her eyes, but she also glared at Fang Ping and scolded him furiously. Fang Ping laughed dryly. Sorry. I won't do it again." "Oof." Zhou Qiyu snorted and turned away from him. Qin Fengqing was completely stunned. Was Fang Ping telling the truth? Fang Ping did not speak anymore. He found a place to sit down and pulled Qin Fengqing, who was a little distracted, to sit down. "All right, don't think too much. Let's watch the competition." Fang Ping. But I don't really like this kind of girl. I like those who are timid and helpless." "Are you kidding me? How many martial artists are like that?" "But forget it. Don't tell me. I'm not interested. I've said what I need to say anyway. It doesn't matter if you like her or not. It's a fact that she likes you. You won't deny it, right?" Qin Fengqing sighed softly. "I'm used to it. Handsome people are like this. The people from Yeseninu are here. Do as you see fit." Fang Ping ignored him and started staring downstairs, waiting for the competition to begin. At the same time, a few grandmasters not far away were talking in low voices. Fang Ping's use of mentality seems to be much more skillful than before. He's improved a lot. Huang Jing nodded slightly. He has improved a little, but he's a little out of line, harassing Zhou Qiyu for no reason. This kid, could it be? As he said that, Huang Jing glanced at the female vice-chancellor of Magic City Women's College. "Did Fang Ping fancy your girl?" Earlier, Fang Ping had been talking softly. The grandmasters would not be so idle as to eavesdrop on others. They only noticed Fang Ping's mentality fluctuations when they were discovered. Fang Ping had been harassing Zhou Qiyu with his mentality, so Huang Jing naturally overthought it. The female grandmaster from Magic City Women's College frowned slightly. She said mildly, "He's talented, but Qiyu won't like someone who's not steady. If he likes someone, he should say it." There was no need for martial artists to act this way. Fang Ping was deliberately harassing Zhou Qiyu with his mentality. He was very petty. Even though he was very talented, The female grandmaster found it unappealing. Huang Jing did not mind. He smiled and said, "Let the young people deal with their own matters." Oh, right, this time East Sino Nation Normal University and Beijing Martial Arts University. Do you think Beijing Martial Arts University has a chance? BMU still has a chance. The female grandmaster nodded. She could not wait for YesNNU to lose. The two schools almost fought yesterday. Fong Ping naturally did not think of eavesdropping on the grandmaster's discussion. His hearing was good, but he was not interested in eavesdropping on the grandmaster's. If he was discovered, he would be beaten up. The commentator below the stage had already started to explain the lineup of both sides. On YesNNU's side, they had been injured badly. There were only 3 rank for martial artists participating this time, 1 middle stage and 2 early stage. Beijing had also fought one after another. Although they had a bye, there were only 2 rank 4s participating now, 1 middle stage and the other early stage. In terms of strength, YesNNU was slightly stronger. Beijing did not even have peak rank 3s. The remaining 3 were all upper stage rank 3s. As long as the middle stage YesNNU president was defeated, the championship would almost be over. Fong Ping watched for a while and shook his head. Beijing doesn't have much hope. YesNNU's Hu Yong is a middle stage rank 4 and has no injuries. Beijing's Zhang Tao, on the other hand, is seriously injured. Qin Fengqing snorted softly. Hu Yong is a despicable person. When he fought CCMEU, he did not put in any effort and came out unscathed. When he fought CWU, he also used despicable means. Let's not talk about being a despicable person. Hu Yong's strength is not weak. If he wins against BMU this time, he has a chance of winning against YMS. YesNNU will be able to enter the top 10. Qin Fengqing did not say anything. Fong Ping was still confident in his judgment. If YMS really went up against YesNNU, as long as YesNNU's people were not too seriously injured, the chances of defeating YMS with 5 rank 4s would not be low. In order to obtain a spot in the top 10, YesNNU would definitely not be stingy with pills to help them recover. The 2 rank 4s who did not fight today were both recuperating, probably waiting for the challenge. While the 2 were talking, below the stage, the referee shouted, "Begin!" As soon as the words left his mouth, YesNNU's Hu Yong started a war of attrition. His speed was extremely fast. He circled around Zhang Tao and attacked continuously. He did not have any injuries, but Zhang Tao's injuries had not recovered. If he dragged this out, his chances of winning were high, and he would not use up too much energy. For YesNNU, stability was the most important thing right now. There was no need to fight too fiercely. It would be difficult to challenge if they were injured. In Fong Ping's opinion, this was the right strategy. In order to obtain a spot in the top 10, it was normal to be a little despicable. However, Qin Fengqing did not seem to like it. He snorted and said, "Despicable, despicable guy indeed." Fong Ping glanced at him. This guy, was he serious about it? He did not care about him anymore. Let him be. Fong Ping had vented most of his earlier unhappiness. He did not think too highly of a weak team like YesNNU. As for being the scapegoat, Fong Ping did not do such a thing. What YesNNU said had nothing to do with him. Below the stage, the first battle dragged on for a long time. A rank for martial artist recovery speed was not slow. Hu Yong, who was not injured, recovered even faster. Bit by bit, he managed to wear down Zhang Tao. Zhang Tao's speed was not necessarily slower than his. Unfortunately, his vitality was not flowing smoothly. Hu Yong dodged a few fatal blows when he tried. After dodging a few attacks, Hu Yong saw that Zhang Tao's vitality had been greatly depleted. After another 10 minutes or so, he managed to drag Zhang Tao down the stage. Fong Ping nodded slightly. Although the consumption is not small, the recovery speed is not slow. I've recovered more than half now. After defeating this rank 4, BMU will have no chance. Qin Fengqing pursed his lips and did not reply. The truth was not beyond Fong Ping's expectations. This time, Hu Yong did not fight a battle of attrition. His opponent was only an early stage rank 4. The gap between them was not small. Hu Yong did not play dirty when it was time to be tough. He directly unleashed a big move and exchanged a few blows with his opponent. Very quickly, he defeated his opponent. Fighting style? It feels a little familiar, Fong Ping murmured. Qin Fengqing rolled his eyes. Isn't this your fighting style? So what he said wasn't wrong. Cut it out? Fong Ping sneered. How can he compare to me? My fighting style is not dirty. He mainly dodges, but I rarely dodge. There was no other reason. He had a lot of vitality and strong vitality. If he could not beat his opponent, he would go all out and exhaust his opponent to death. Of course, they were both exhausting each other. There was only a slight difference in the form. Strictly speaking, Hu Yong was more proficient in the use of vitality than Fong Ping because others did not have Fong Ping's conditions. It's about the same anyway. Fong Ping did not refute. If it was about the same, then it was about the same. As long as he looked fierce, he would not be called dirty. At least the audience looked excited because Fong Ping kept unleashing his attacks. After defeating the 2 rank 4 martial artists, the remaining 3 upper stage rank 3 martial artists did not admit defeat. The Beijiang martial artists were still very courageous. The 3 upper stage rank 3 martial artists unleashed big moves as soon as they went on stage, but the gap was too big. They were quickly defeated by Hu Yong. At this point, the losers group competition came to an end. ESNNU obtained the first place in the losers group. East Sino Nation Normal University has chosen to challenge other schools. On the second floor, a golden body powerhouse from the Department of Education flew down. As the first place in the losers group, ESNNU had the right to choose a team from the winners group to fight for a place in the top 10. ESNNU had a plan. Hu Yong said immediately, "We choose Yunming Military School." In the winners group, the only team without an upper stage rank for powerhouse was Yunming Military School. CCMU, MCMAU, FMS, NSMS, SNMAU, NMAU, NMAU, Taishan, and Southeast were not schools that ESNNU, which had fought many battles at the moment, could compare to. The chances of challenging Yunming Military School were still very high. No one was too surprised by this choice. Tomorrow, these 2 schools would fight to determine the top 10 list. Only after that would the top 10 ranking battle begin. After watching the competition, Fong Ping did not linger. Qin Fengqing left with him. Fong Ping was a little surprised. I thought I tricked him. It seems like Qin Fengqing is not stupid. Qin Fengqing was not as stupid as he thought. The top 10 ranking battle tomorrow was extremely important. He was not stupid. If he wanted to beat someone up now, ESNNU's grandmasters could beat him to death. However, after the top 10 list was determined, he would go and beat someone up. ESNNU had no hope of winning in the later competitions anyway. If he beat them up, then so be it. ESNNU might even have an excuse to not compete. ESNNU's grandmasters might even praise him, Qin Fengqing, for fighting well. He was secretly happy. Losing to someone from MCMAU was better than losing to someone else. Naturally, Qin Fengqing would not tell Fong Ping about these little schemes. This guy Fong Ping was not very reliable. He had actually encouraged him to beat someone up today. He would be beaten to death by the grandmasters. This guy could not wait for him to be beaten to death. He would not fall for it. With the pride of crushing Fong Ping's IQ, Qin Fengqing strode with his head held high and looked down on Fong Ping for a while. On the 12th of December, the last battle of the top 10 began. 5 rank 4s from ESNNU came out at the same time. Hu Yong truly lived up to his title as the master of dirty play. He wore a peak rank 6 creature leather armor to participate in the battle. He deliberately lured the powerhouse from Yunming Military School to attack his abdomen. Then, he fought head-on with his opponent in a position where both sides would be injured. Hu Yong's sword pierced through his opponent's shoulder blade, but his opponent's spear did not pierce through his abdomen. As a result, he was defeated by Hu Yong by 1 move. This caused Yunming Military School's dissatisfaction. It was not that they could not wear it, but under normal circumstances, everyone tacitly agreed that the students would bring their own equipment. A peak rank 6 leather armor was obviously beyond this scope. It was obviously not Hu Yong's. The defense of leather armor was actually limited. 4 middle rank martial artists, it was not very helpful. Middle-ranked martial artists cultivated high-ranked combat techniques, so their vitality penetration was extremely strong. However, under the same conditions, naturally, wearing it was better than not wearing it. Now, the two schools were in a war of words. Unfortunately, the rules of the competition did not state that they were not allowed to wear it. Yunmeng Military School's dissatisfaction was useless. In the end, because of Hu Yong, both sides fought until the fifth person. Yisanenyu won by a slight margin and took the last place in the top 10. After the top 10 competition ended, Fong Ping let out a long breath. It was their turn next. The rules for the top 10 competition were different from before. They drew lots and divided into two groups of 5 teams. Each team would fight a full 4 matches. A win would be worth 2 points, a draw would be worth 1 point, and a loss would be worth 0 points. In the end, the first and second place in each group would advance according to their accumulated points. The first place in Group A would fight against the second place in Group B, and the first place in Group B would fight against the second place in Group A. The winners would advance to the finals to determine the first and second place. The losers would advance to the third and fourth place. This rule was slightly different from before. The rule shown to Fong Ping and the others previously was that the first place in each group would advance to the finals. Now, however, there were 2 more places. Obviously, because of the change in the situation, or because of Fong Ping and Wang Jinyang's continuous display of strength, the government had changed the rules to give everyone a little more chance. Previously, the government had probably thought that CCMEU and FMS would advance first out of the 2 groups. As soon as the new rules were announced, Fong Ping cursed in his heart. Only the government would change the rules at the last minute. No wonder the rules for the top 10 competition were not announced to the public. They had been waiting for this. After the Golden Body powerhouse from the Department of Education announced the rules, he did not care whether they agreed or not. He quickly said, the groups will be decided by drawing lots. The stronger teams will advance, no matter which group they are placed in. The schools in ESNNU were about to curse. Don't cheat if you have the guts. Put 5 out of the 6 schools, CCMEU, MCMEU, FMS, NMEU, NSMS, and SNMEU, into one group. Only then would you be considered powerful. Only then would the other 4 schools have a chance to advance. Otherwise, they would just fight for the rankings at the back. If nothing went wrong, the 2 groups would split the 6 schools equally. Moreover, there was a 99% chance that MCMEU and CCMEU would not be in the same group. Everyone could even guess that CCMU was recognized as the first place, even if Yao Qingjun was not weak. As for who was stronger between MCMEU and FMS, it was difficult to judge at the moment. Fong Ping's strength had not been exposed, so it was not easy to determine who was stronger. Therefore, MCMEU and FMS might be in the same group. If that was the case, then for the sake of balance, NMEU, which had shown its strength, would most likely be in CCMEU's group because of Wang Jinyang. The probability of 9 states military school and SNMEU fighting each other was not high. Therefore, 9 states military school would probably be in CCMEU's group. With that, SNMEU could only be in the same group as MCMEU. MCMEU's group of 3 was confirmed. As for the rest, it did not matter. It might really be a random draw. The participating martial artists were not stupid. Before the draw began, Fong Ping smiled and said, Brother Wang, it seems like we will have to fight. If CCMEU and NMEU were to be in the same group, even if 9 states military school was sent over, the president of 9 states military school would not be Wang Jinyang's match. If NMEU lost to CCMEU, then Fong Ping's first battle after advancing would be against Nanjiang. If there was an upset and NMU defeated CCMEU, then Fong Ping felt that the finals would be between MCMEU and NMEU. As for MCMEU taking second place in the group and losing to FMS, Fong Ping did not even consider it. Wang Jinyang smiled and said, I hope that we will meet in the finals. Li Hansong said lightly, Then I'm afraid there's no hope. As he said that, he looked at Yao Qingjun and Fong Ping and said, Both of you, let's see who will fight me first. But this is good too. Both of you can fight once. It will be clear who is stronger and who is weaker. Otherwise, someone will say that they did not fight and are unwilling to admit defeat. With this competition system, the top four would have a chance to fight each other. The premise was that the first place of both groups could win. As the few of them talked excitedly, the face of the powerhouse from the Department of Education beside them darkened. "You guys are amazing. Believe it or not, I will really put you in the same group. We have not drawn lots yet, and you are already discussing the upcoming battles. Are you showing off your intelligence? Young people nowadays do not understand the care of the older generation at all. Is it easy for us to let you guys have less internal friction and more chances to fight each other?" The few rank 8 and 9 powerhouses discussed for a long time and finally adopted this competition system. They also arranged the members of the two groups. "Don't you guys know how to be grateful?" Seeing the few of them talking excitedly, the Golden Body Powerhouse had no choice but to interrupt. "All right, let's start drawing lots." Fong Ping and the others looked indifferent. While Fong Ping was drawing lots casually, he smiled and said, "Yao Chenjun, I was thinking who would be my first opponent. I didn't expect it to be you. If you lose, I will take away this rank for third place first. It's a pity that you did not challenge the first place at that time." Yao Chengjun said lightly, "Come and take it if you can." Beside him, SNMU President Liu Shiji chuckled. "Both of you are very confident, but you have to ask if SNMU agrees or not." Fong Ping curled his lips. "I don't really think highly of you. Draw lots." The Golden Body Powerhouse's tone was slightly exasperated. "If you continue talking, I will really put you guys in the same group. Even if the result is terrible and I will be beaten up by the minister when I get back, I will accept it." The few of them seemed to have just remembered this. One by one, they coughed dryly and began to draw lots obediently. Fong Ping did not even bother to look. As expected, MCMAU, FMS, and the Sino Nation Martial Arts Conference would be together. As it turned out, Fong Ping and the others had guessed correctly. MCMAU, FMS, SNMAU, SCMAU, TMAU, and TMU were divided into 5 groups. On the other side, other than CCMAU and the other 3, ESNNU and DNMU were stuffed into the same group. Fong Ping ignored the others directly. After drawing lots, he said, "Minister, do we draw lots for the group matches too? Why don't we arrange our battle with FMS first?" Fong Ping said this very softly. The Golden Body Powerhouse glared at him, thought for a while, and said in a low voice, "You guys fight last." Cough, cough, cough. Many people who heard him coughed. F***CK. They were cheating to this extent. Why bother drawing lots? They might as well decide the order and arrange it directly. Obviously, to prevent the two schools from meeting at the beginning and causing the powerhouses to be injured and unable to participate, the higher-ups directly intervened and let these two schools meet at the end. The key was, if that was the case, then they could arrange the order directly. Now that they had decided to draw lots, everyone felt that it was unnecessary. Fong Ping did not expect the other party to respond. He laughed dryly and did not ask again. Forget it, whatever. As for the other schools, it would be the same no matter who they fought. There was no difference. In the end, when the competition order was drawn, Fong Ping still had a headache. MCMAU's first group match was against SCMAU. Should he let Chun Wenlong fight it out? Fong Ping thought about this and looked toward the second floor. Although he did not see Chen Yaoding, Fong Ping knew that the old man was on the second floor. He might be glaring at him fiercely. Worse still, SCMU would fight MCMU in the morning and FMS in the afternoon. This was the rhythm of being brutally abused, but would it not break down? Opposite him, Chen Haoran's face seemed to be a little pale. Fong Ping did not know if he was seeing things. How pitiful, but it's only a matter of time. It's better to endure the nightmare in one day. Chapter 345. The top 10 ranking battles were divided into 2 groups, so the schedule was more compact. There were 2 matches on the morning of the 13th, and 2 more in the afternoon. Fong Ping and the others were in Group A, MCMU versus SCMU at 8 a.m. on the 13th, and SCMU versus FMS at 3 p.m. There were 2 matches in Group B as well. NMU versus SE at 10 a.m., and CCMU versus ESNNU at 1 p.m. When the schedule was released, it caused an uproar immediately. There were 4 matches a day, and the 4 most famous martial arts universities and military schools would all be participating. In an instant, spectator tickets were hard to come by. CCMU did not think too much about the 4 matches on the 13th, and it was too troublesome, so they decided to use 1 ticket a day, and the ticket price was 1,000 yuan. When the schedule was released on the afternoon of the 12th, someone had already set the price at 10,000 yuan online. By late at night, the price had even risen to 30,000 yuan per ticket. Fong Ping despised CCMU's ticket selling system. To save trouble, these guys would not even take the money that was in their hands. 4 matches a day, and all of them were middle-rank battles. The ticket price was 250 yuan per match. Did that mean that rank 4s like them were 250 yuan? According to the schedule, each team had to fight a full 4 matches. There were 5 teams in each group, so they had to fight a total of 10 matches. 2 groups meant 20 matches. 4 matches a day, and that would take 5 days. In addition to the qualifiers, the 3rd and 4th places, and the 1st and 2nd places, the government intended to end the competition in December. They could not delay the students too much. The compact schedule also meant that everyone's combat strength was higher, and their recovery time was shorter. The unlucky SCMAU, which had to fight 2 matches a day, was not a special case. December 13th, Sunday. On this day, not only were there more people at the venue, but there were also many people gathered outside CCMU's gate. Many of them were holding banners to support a team. Since the start of the martial arts championship, some schools and individuals had fans. Not only were there more people at the venue, but there were also more people who chose to watch the live broadcast on a Sunday. The first match on the 13th was MCMAU. When MCMU's car stopped, there was a sudden uproar outside the venue. MCMU, 1 against 5. First in martial arts universities, invincible. Fong Ping, I love you. Destroy SCMU. The shouts came one after another, so loud that Fong Ping's ears hurt. Seeing that the people in the car were looking at him, Fong Ping said with a dark expression, "They're not hired." Old man Chun was still his creditor, and he was too embarrassed to do this. This time, he was a real fan. After all, MCMU was a famous university. Although they had only fought 1 match in the championship, Fong Ping had crushed the arena with his fists. He was domineering and had attracted countless fans. The others burst into laughter. Chun Wenlong hesitated for a moment before saying, "Why don't you go first?" "No, you're the starter. I can't let the outside world only see my strength. There are countless powerhouses in MCMAU. It won't be difficult to fight SCMU this time. First Military School and Sino Nation Martial Arts University are both tough opponents. When the time comes, it'll be difficult to fight them, so it'll be less domineering. When the time comes, I'll start again." Fong Ping let Chun Wenlong be the starter for both SCMAU and Taishan. There were no weaklings among the experts on the top 100 list. Chun Wenlong was not famous now, but that did not mean he was weak. It would not be too difficult for him to defeat SCMAU or TMAU alone. CCMU allowed Qin Zhe to fight, but Li Hansong did not. It was also to let these people shine. Martial arts universities were not dominated by one person. No matter how strong NMAU's Wang Jinyang was, no one would think that NMAU's strength could compare to CCMAU and MCMAU. Chun Wenlong took a deep breath. There was still some pressure. He was not afraid of failure, but he was afraid of not being able to defeat his opponent. When he got out of the car, Chun Wenlong thought for a moment before saying, "Chun Haoren is not weak. Do we need to hold back?" Chun Haoren was the grandson of a grandmaster. This was not important. What was important was that he was Chun Yunxi's brother. MCMU was strong against the outside world, but they still took care of their own people. No need to show respect. If you can kill him with one punch, don't use a second punch. Fong Ping said calmly. Chun Wenlong did not owe him money. What was there to be afraid of? Okay, I understand. Chun Wenlong nodded. As the commander-in-chief of the army, he was less profiteering than Fong Ping and more honest. CCMU Stadium. This time, CCMU did not hold the top 10 ranking battle indoors. They chose to hold it outdoors. If they chose to fight outdoors, there would be more spectators. Although there was a barbed wire fence blocking the entrance, only those who bought tickets could enter. Unrelated people could not enter CCMAU. There was still a large group of CCMAU students gathered outside the fence. Perhaps CCMAU had not shown its home advantage before, even though it was not the time for CCMAU to fight yet. When Fong Ping and the others arrived at the stadium, there were still loud cheers outside. Capital City Martial Arts University, kill them all. Capital City Martial Arts University, fight if you're not satisfied. Fong Ping rubbed his ears and sneered. Capital City Martial Arts University, you're all so stupid. You even shouted the slogan. Really stupid. A few CCMAU students near him flushed red instantly. They wanted to punch Fong Ping until he exploded. I'm shouting kill. Fong Ping did not care about them. He walked into the arena calmly. At this moment, there was still a huge arena in the middle of the stadium. However, the arena this time was only for decoration. The rules of the ranking battle had been changed. If one did not admit defeat, leaving the arena would not be considered a loss. However, they were not allowed to leave the stadium. MCMU's participating team has arrived. MCMU's instructor has submitted the list of participants. This time, will MCMU still be Fong Ping's starter? Alright, now that SCMU has submitted the list of participants, let's take a look at the order of both teams. McMahon, Chun Wenlong is the starter. MCMAU has changed their tactics. Captain Fong Ping is not the first to fight. Is it because he feels the pressure, or is it to be more safe? Chun Wenlong, 68th in the rank for top 100. Compared to CCMU's Chinze, Chun Wenlong's ranking is higher. However, we haven't had the chance to see Chun Wenlong fight. The last time he fought was on November 18th. Chun Wenlong challenged SUS instructor Zhang Qingxiang. That was a private battle, so we don't know. According to rumors, Chun Wenlong defeated his opponent with 3 punches. His strength is obvious. Now, among the rank for top 100 members, CCMU's Li Hansong uses his fists. Chun Wenlong also uses his fists. Both have the title of God of Fists. Who is stronger? Alright, let's take a look at SCMU's list of participants. The starter, Chun Haoren. Chun Haoren, president of SCMU's Martial Arts Society, upper stage rank for martial artist. Although his rank is slightly lower than Chun Wenlong's, Chun Haoren's strength is extremely strong. When he fought against MCMAU, Chun Haoren single-handedly defeated MCMAU. The commentator's voice was high-pitched and full of passion. After explaining the lineups of both teams for a while, a powerhouse quickly shouted, "Both teams, come on stage." Chun Wenlong and Chun Haoren stepped onto the stage from 2 different directions. In midair, the powerhouse who announced the stage continued to shout, "The top 10 ranking battle is not limited to the battle arena. Both sides are not allowed to leave the stadium or cross the audience area. You can admit defeat or stop until one side is no longer able to fight. You are not allowed to kill intentionally. You are not allowed to continue fighting after you admit defeat. Other than that, there are no other rules." After announcing the rules, the powerhouse in midair waited for both of them to finish their martial arts salute before shouting, "Begin!" Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, Chun Wenlong stomped on the ground, raised his fist, and smashed it. Chun Wenlong was currently wearing boxing gloves, which emitted a cold glow. As his vitality force circulated, the smell of blood gushed out from the gloves. Chun Haoren did not take the attack head-on. The moment Chun Wenlong leaped, Chun Haoren followed suit. His silhouette flickered rapidly, leaving a trail of afterimages in the arena. The rumbling sound did not come from the battle between both sides. Instead, it came from Chun Wenlong stomping on the ground, causing the giant arena to shake. Although the arena was made of alloy, the ground beneath the arena was made of mud. At this moment, the giant arena seemed to be shaking slightly as it began to sink into the mud. Speed was not Chun Wenlong's forte, but his bodybuilding techniques had been cultivated to a high level. His strong physique also made him extremely fast. In the eyes of the audience, Chun Haoran had turned into a series of afterimages, while Chun Wenlong was like a raging bull. As he charged forward, the afterimages were shattered. "You can't hide," Chun Wenlong shouted coldly. He punched the air, and a blood-red light flashed, shooting toward the void. In mid-air, at the same time, a dazzling sword light fell. Boom! The sound of an explosion reverberated. In the next moment, a long sword appeared soundlessly behind Chun Wenlong's head. Chun Haoran was extremely fast. Chun Wenlong looked a little clumsy, so he was at a disadvantage in terms of speed. Outside the arena, Fong Ping glanced at it and shook his head slightly. Chun Haoran had lost. When martial artists fought, if they were weaker and could not run fast, the battle would end quickly. As expected, just as Fong Ping shook his head, Chun Wenlong, who had been acting like he did not know anything, suddenly moved. His left hand gripped the long sword, and his right fist punched out violently. At this moment, the powerhouses could see Chun Haoran's figure. Chun Haoran was also a decisive person. He abandoned his sword and retreated at lightning speed. However, Chun Wenlong, who seemed to be slower than him, was chasing him relentlessly. His speed was also frighteningly fast, and his fist was getting closer and closer to his opponent. In the blink of an eye, the blood-red fist had reached his opponent's throat. Chun Haoran's expression changed slightly. His body suddenly grew taller. As he did so, Chun Wenlong's fist had already reached him, landing a punch on his chest. Bang! Chun Haoran's hands formed into claws, trying to block the attack. As soon as they made contact, his hands trembled violently, emitting a deafening sound. Blood gushed out of his hands, and his skin, which was as tough as alloy, was torn open. Boom! Chun Wenlong did not let up. His fist was so fast that it pierced through the air. His right fist punched more than 10 times in a row. Although Chun Haoran kept retreating and blocking, the difference in strength made it impossible for him to block his opponent's attacks. Blood dripped from his hands and mouth continuously. The blood of an upper stage rank for a powerhouse was extremely heavy. When it dripped on the ground, the sound of rolling steel beads could be heard. After a while, Chun Haoran was already out of the arena. Chun Wenlong's eyes were cold and fierce. His right fist punched more than 10 times, his left hand still holding on to Chun Haoran's longsword. Seeing that his opponent was out of the arena, the longsword in Chun Wenlong's left hand shot out, piercing through his opponent's abdomen. The huge force pinned Chun Haoran to the ground. Even now, Chun Wenlong did not stop. His fists exploded with a strong blood-red aura. "Surrender," Chun Yaoding said from the rostrum in the distance. Chun Wenlong retracted his fist and went forward to help Chun Haoran up. Chun Haoran looked dejected. He did not say anything. He nodded slightly to indicate that he was fine. He pulled the long sword out of his abdomen, covered his wound, and left the arena. Martial artists had strong recovery abilities. Although his abdomen was pierced, Chun Wenlong still controlled his strength. He did not hurt his internal organs, so his injury was not serious. However, what disappointed Chun Haoran was that he could not fight back against Chun Wenlong. Even if the fight looked impressive, it was only because Chun Wenlong did not use his full strength. Speed was not Chun Wenlong's weakness. At peak rank, especially for prodigious martial artists, there were very few flaws. If he was not fast enough, Chun Wenlong would have been killed in the catacombs long ago. Outside the arena, Yao Chengjuan's expression was solemn. He asked in a low voice, "Bai Su, are you confident?" The young man in military uniform standing beside him frowned. Less than 30%, Yao Chengjun nodded slightly. That meant that the probability of losing was very high. If FMS went up against MCMAU, he had to defeat Fong Ping at least, and then defeat Chun Wenlong to have a chance of winning. Fong Ping. Yao Chengjun glanced at Fong Ping from afar. This time, Fong Ping did not display much of his strength. Up until now, he had only defeated middle stage rank for martial artists at most. It was still a blur to see his strength clearly. That saber in his hand, Yao Chengjun shifted his gaze to the saber at Fong Ping's waist. Last time, Fong Ping did not draw his saber. Chun Wenlong had defeated Chun Haoran. SCMU's fate was sealed. The second middle stage rank for martial artist went on stage. In less than 20 seconds, he was punched in the chest by Chen Wenlong. The sound of bones cracking could be heard. Old man Chen still doesn't admit defeat. Isn't he looking for trouble? Fong Ping mumbled. There was no benefit in fighting MCMAU head-on. They still had to fight FMS in the afternoon. If they continued like this, they would not be able to fight anymore. At some point, Chen Yaoting appeared beside Fong Ping and said lightly, "I'm just letting SCMU students see the gap between us. After the top 3, the gap isn't that big. The difference of one place is only a few hundred million." Only when SCMU students realize that they are weak and the gap is big can they continue to work hard. They are all young prodigies of the same generation. Why are SCMU students inferior to others? Chen Yaoting frowned. Because the pressure isn't big enough. Being invincible in the school doesn't mean being invincible in the same generation. After this, all peak rank 3 martial artists in SCMU will be invincible. Win or lose, let them know that there is always someone better. Fong Ping swallowed and smiled flatteringly. Vice-Chancellor Chen, you have great foresight. This old man had appeared beside him out of nowhere. You should have heard what he said earlier, right? He could scare people to death. Chen Yaoting did not continue. When the third person was seriously injured by Chen Wenlong's punch, Chen Yaoting shook his head slightly. The gap was too big. MCMU wins. After more than a minute, the referee announced the result. Chen Wenlong easily defeated all 5 of them. SCMU was not weak. They had upper stage and middle stage rank for martial artists, but they still lost miserably. This made the other martial arts universities feel sad. The big 2 were indeed full of talents. On MCMU's side, Fong Ping's strength aside, Chen Wenlong alone was enough to suppress all the martial arts universities except CCMAU, FMS, and a few others. Even if Chen Wenlong did not appear, Zhang Yu, Qin Fengqing, and the others could probably defeat SCMAU. This was a crushing defeat in terms of strength. MCMU's weakest martial artist, CLA, was also a thrice-honed middle stage rank for martial artist. Chun Haoran, a martial artist who had just broken through to upper stage, might not even be CLA's match. At this moment, whether it was the audience or some of the martial artists watching the battle, they were all feeling emotional. Elite schools were different. Nanjiang Martial Arts University and Dongnan Martial Arts University prepare for the match. The competition ended too quickly. Martial artists did not have the intention to wait according to the stipulated time. Martial artists were never slow in their work. At this moment, preparations for the competition that was originally scheduled to start at 10 o'clock had already begun. When the crowd saw NMU's Wang Jinyang walk out with his saber, many of them sighed. NMU's strength was too weak, unlike CCMEU and MCMAU. Even if the captain did not appear, there were powerhouses who could suppress everything. On NMU's side, if Wang Jinyang did not appear, no one could carry the burden. Chapter 346. NMU versus SE Martial Arts University had an upper stage rank for Powerhouse, 1 middle stage rank 4, and 3 early stage rank 4. However, when they saw Wang Jinyang on the stage, SE Martial Arts University still felt a huge pressure. Begin! Following the referee's command, Wang Jinyang's expression was cold. His Chongdao slashed through the air, and thunder fell. Before the first slash landed, the next slash had already appeared on the left side of his body. The Chongdao was like a shadow, sweeping out. Bang! A dull thud was heard. Blood spurted from the waist of SE Martial Arts Society's president. His bones were faintly visible. Fast, accurate, and ruthless. Wang Jinyang's slash was extremely fast. The gap between the two sides was huge, giving SE Martial Arts University no chance to escape. Wang Jinyang withdrew his saber. He did not continue to pursue and looked at his opponent silently. On SE Martial Arts University's side, an instructor sighed softly on the grandstand and shouted, "Surrender." The championship this time is completely different from the first rank 1 championship. Rank 1 martial artists, even prodigies like Fong Ping, are not much ahead of their opponents at the Rank 1 stage. Instant kills rarely happen at the Rank 1 stage. However, at the Rank 4 stage, these genius martial artists gradually widen the gap between them and the rest. Chen Wenlong, Wang Jinyang, Yao Qingjun. These people, when faced with martial artists whose martial arts ranks are lower than theirs, almost all appear to be instant kills. It seems that the highlights of this martial arts championship will appear in the later stages. In the later stages, the prodigies of peak rank will fight one after another. I think at that time, this kind of instant kill battle will probably not happen again. The male commentator took advantage of the free time to talk for a while. The female commentator nodded and said, "Indeed, the gap is too big. Moreover, at the middle rank, the recovery speed is also extremely fast. Although it can't keep up with the consumption, it's not too difficult to fight 1 against 5. For peak rank for martial artists like Wang Jinyang, if they encounter rank for martial artists who are lower ranked than them, 30 to 50 people may not be their match. There are also many peak rank for martial artists in this championship. CCMU is 3, MCMU is 2, FMS is 1, NMU is 1, SNMU is 1. That's where you're wrong. First Military Schools by Su has broken through to peak rank 4. Bai Su is also an upper stage rank 4 top-notch powerhouse. That is to say, there are 10 peak rank for martial artists. Not bad. However, according to MCMU Fong Ping's division, even if they're all peak rank 4, there's still a huge gap between them. According to him, it can even be divided into 4 levels. He alone is at the top, Yao Qingjun and the rest are at the 2nd level, Chen Wenlong and the rest are at the 3rd level, and the 4th level are the other peak rank for martial artists. Whether it's true or not, we'll have to wait and see. The battle between these peak rank for martial artists will appear soon. The two commentators had nothing else to say at the moment, so they could only say something off-topic. The gap between NMAU's Wang Jinyang and the people from the southeast was too great. They were both insta-killed. If the first round was counted as 2 strikes, then the next 4 rounds would be 4 strikes. 6 slashes, and the battle was over. Nanjiang Martial Arts University wins. The referee announced the result, which was not too surprising. The competition that was scheduled to last a few hours in the morning came to an end in about half an hour. At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly felt that $1,000 was not cheap at all. Some of these guys who were watching the competition had come all the way to the arena and waited for half a day. In the end, all they saw was a few punches and a few slashes. They were probably cursing in their hearts. Fong Ping thought about this and pondered again. MCMEU would not hold middle-rank competitions in the future. Middle-rank competitions were actually much less entertaining. Rank 1 martial artist punches landed on flesh and blood, and they often fought until their vitality was depleted. However, in middle-rank competitions, the gap in strength would be much wider. In this championship, it was almost always one side crushing the other. In the afternoon, the first match was between CCMEU and ESNNU. ESNNU was the weakest, and now they were up against CCMAU. There was absolutely nothing to watch in this battle. Even the wretched Hu Yong did not last more than a minute against Qin Zhe, the starter, and was quickly defeated. This was only because he was wretched enough. Otherwise, Qin Zhe would not even need 3 moves to defeat a middle stage rank for martial artist. The remaining few people from ESNNU seemed a little perfunctory. Only 2 rank for martial artists appeared. The remaining 3 were all rank 3 martial artists. This kind of lineup might have angered Qin Zhe. When the rank 3 martial artist went on stage, Qin Zhe did not even close in. He punched the other party a few times in the air and knocked him down. He was not a martial artist who used his fists. CCMU defeated ESNNU in the shortest time possible. The scene was filled with boos. The audience did not have the guts to boo the martial artists, but the CCMU students outside the arena did not seem to have any qualms. They expressed their strongest disdain for ESNNU. At least 5 rank 4s had gone up. Were they afraid of getting hurt? In the afternoon, the second match was between FMS and SCMAU. SCMAU, which had just suffered a critical hit in the morning, was hit again. Yao Qingjun was the starter and sent Chun Haoran flying with 3 shots. The remaining 4 people were a matter of 1 shot each. That's terrible. Fang Ping felt a little sympathetic. SCMU had been beaten too badly today. Fortunately, there was no match against SCMU tomorrow. Otherwise, if they met SNMU again, it would be even worse. However, MCMAU had a match tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, they fought against TMAU. In the morning, TMU fought against SNMU. This schedule made Fang Ping feel a strong sense of malice. Today, SCMU is unlucky. Tomorrow, TMU would be unlucky. The day after tomorrow, these 2 unlucky bastards could fight and comfort each other. On the 14th, MCMU fought against TMAU. On the 15th, MCMU fought against SNMAU. On the 16th, they would rest for a day. On the 17th, they would fight against FMS. This was MCMAU's schedule this time. On the 16th, they would rest for a day. On the 17th, they would fight against FMS. This was MCMAU's schedule this time. On the 16th, they would rest for a day. FMS would fight against SNMAU. CCMU's side was almost the same. What was really worth watching were the next few days. In the next few days, CCMU would fight against NMAU, NMU would fight against NMAU, and NMU would fight against NMAU. The peak rank for powerhouses would fight against each other. This made people even more excited. December 14th. In the morning, SNMU fought against TMAU. Top 100 member Liu Shiji was the starter. Perhaps to show his presence, Liu Shiji unleashed his full strength and defeated TMU's upper stage rank for president in 3 slashes. The remaining 4 people were also defeated one after another. In the other group, CCMU fought against DNMAU. Qin Zhe went up again and easily defeated DNMAU. In the afternoon, MCMAU's Chun Wenlong continued to be the starter and easily defeated TMAU. In the other group, NMU fought against YesNNU, also easily defeated. 2 days of competition. Every match ended extremely quickly. On the 15th of December, there were a few more important matches on this day. On the 15th, NMU fought against NMAU in the morning. In the afternoon, MCMU fought against SNMAU. For the first time, peak rank for martial artists fought. Rank 4 and rank for a different. On the morning of the 15th, Fang Ping smiled at the camera as he walked. NMU's overall strength is not weak. However, against NMAU, they will definitely lose. Although NMU's president, Xiao Yuming, is also a peak rank for martial artist and has entered the top 100, his ranking is lower. If he meets Wang Jinyang, he will definitely lose. If he loses, Wang Jinyang will easily defeat his opponent. Lu Dali questioned. President Wang Jinyang is also lower on the ranking. There is not much difference between him and his opponent. Why does President Fang think so highly of President Wang? You don't understand. The second sequence I mentioned earlier only consists of 3 people: Yao Qingjun, Li Hansong, and Wang Jinyang. Xiao Yuming can only be ranked 3rd. It may seem like a small difference, but in reality, the difference is huge. President Fang has placed himself in the first sequence. Does this mean that when he meets SNMU's President Liu in the afternoon, he can also defeat his opponent quickly? Fang Ping smiled. It shouldn't be a big problem. If nothing goes wrong, the last 4 to advance will be the other 3 that MCMAU and I mentioned. As for the 5th place, it's hard to say. Let's see how SNMAU and NMU perform. If that's the case, the top 4 has been decided. President Fang, can you make a prediction on who will win first place? McMao, what about second place? CCMU's overall strength is stronger, so the chances are higher. Of course, the other 2 have a chance too. Let's see how they perform. But for NMU, unless Wang Jinyang explodes and defeats 5 people in a row, there is not much hope. If that's the case, President Fang thinks that President Yao Qingjun, who is currently ranked 3rd, can defeat him. Ranking doesn't mean anything. Of course, these people are also very strong. Among us, who hasn't killed a rank 5 before, don't simply treat us as rank for martial artists. Fang Ping said it casually, but Lu Dali was sweating profusely. Was the gap between martial artists really so big? Thinking about it, Those rank for martial artists who encountered Chen Wenlong and the others in the competition were all killed in seconds. The gap between the same rank was also huge. Before this, he thought that he was already very strong as an upper stage rank 3 and did not need to be afraid of Fong Ping. Now that he thought about it, Lu Dali quietly exhaled. It was good that he was not beaten to death. He was very lucky. While the two were talking, the competition began. NMAU's Wang Jinyang was still on the stage. The commentator did not even look at the battle list. If NMAU's Wang Jinyang was not on the stage, then there was no way to fight. There was no need to look. NSMS's side also knew that the others would just be sending themselves to die if they fought against Wang Jinyang. The tactic of taking turns to fight him was not very useful, so Xiao Yuming was straightforward and directly started. The first battle between peak rank for martial artists. Wang Jinyang and Xiao Yuming are both powerhouses among peak rank for martial artists. Both have entered the top 100 ranking. Will Wang Jinyang be black to the end, or will Xiao Yuming end Wang Jinyang's undefeatable streak? Let's wait and see. Competition begins. This time, the referee was different from before. It was a peak rank 6 powerhouse. After the shout, before the ordinary people could see the situation clearly, a loud roar came from midair. 2 afterimages flashed in midair. This time, it was so fast that some rank 2 and 3 martial artists could not see the situation clearly. Others could not see it, but Fong Ping saw it clearly. Xiao Yuming is indeed not weak to be able to enter the top 100. His high-ranked combat technique, 8 Baron Invincible Spear, has been cultivated to an extremely profound level. At the same time, on the side of the platform, the male commentator said loudly, Xiao Yuming's Soaring Dragon 9 Strikes has been cultivated up to the 8th style. No wonder he can enter the top 100. 8 consecutive spear strikes, slightly stronger than Nanjiang's Governor General Zhang's self-created manic explosion. The strongest manic explosion can be stacked 7 times. Lu Dali looked at Fong Ping in shock. It was a live broadcast. How dare you make this up? Moreover, there were so many martial artists here. Thinking back, he had also made up names. During the rank 8 Golden Body battle, he did not go to the scene. He filmed from the mountaintop and made up some combat technique names. But now, in public with countless powerhouses watching, he dared to make up combat techniques? F***CK, this guy was too amazing. Fong Ping's expression did not change. He said lightly, Soaring Dragon 9 Strikes is not the only name. There are many ways to call a combat technique. This is not important. What's important is that Wang Jinyang is about to explode. As soon as he finished speaking, Wang Jinyang, who was in midair, let out a low roar. His Changdao sliced through the air. In the eyes of outsiders, it was only one slash, but Wang Jinyang had already slashed hundreds of times. 100 consecutive slashes. Clang! The sound of metal colliding merged into one, finally forming a deafening roar. In the eyes of outsiders, it seemed like there was only one sound. In midair, a silhouette fell rapidly. Xiao Yuming blocked dozens of slashes, but he could not block all of them. In the end, Wang Jinyang slashed his shoulder blade. The flesh on his shoulder burst open, and his bones showed signs of shattering. Bang! Xiao Yuming crashed onto the ground. Just as he was about to stand up, countless slash marks suddenly burst open all over his body. Blood spurted out. The commentators saw this and sighed. Xiao Yuming has no more strength to fight. Wang Jinyang just slashed 97 times in a row. Xiao Yuming blocked 82 of the slashes. The last dozen slashes were all blocked by his strong physique. It's a pity that he's not a golden body after all, so his injuries are not light. As soon as he finished speaking, the referee took a look and announced loudly, Wang Jinyang wins. The first battle between peak rank ended extremely quickly. Wang Jinyang landed on the arena from midair. His chest rose and fell slightly, and he seemed to be panting a little. However, he was not injured. Xiao Yuming was defeated, but Wang Jinyang was not injured. The result was clear. Lu Dali could not help but ask, President Fong, did he really slash 97 times just now? Fong Ping pondered for a moment, and said, "More or less. More or less." Fong Ping thought for a moment and said, he didn't slash the last slash because the target was Xiao Yuming's head. If he really slashed it, Xiao Yuming might have been killed. As soon as he said this, Lu Dali did not care. On the grandstand, however, the gazes of a few grandmasters converged on him. This guy Fong Ping. When he was talking nonsense just now, they had already started paying attention to him. When they heard Fong Ping's judgment, the grandmasters' faces darkened. This kid was talking nonsense. He did not care about a martial artist's reputation at all. However, when Fong Ping said that he did not slash the last slash, the grandmasters still felt a little strange. This kid's eyesight was no weaker than the rank 6 martial artist who commentated. The rank 6 commentator might have seen it, but saying it out loud would be a slap in the face for NSMS. Fong Ping did not care about this. He continued saying, NSMS is lost. In Group B, only the battle between NMEU and CCMAU is interesting. The rest are not worth watching. From our side, only Yao Chengjun makes me look forward to it. Then, will President Fong be the starter for the battle in the afternoon? Of course, we can't let him take the limelight. Pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger is not very suitable between martial artists. It's time to let people know why MCMAU is a famous school. Fong Ping laughed. He did not watch the next battle because there was no more suspense. He still had to pay more attention to the battle in the afternoon. Lu Shiji's strength had not been fully unleashed yet. If he failed miserably in an easy task, it would be embarrassing. Not long after Fong Ping left, Wang Jinyang easily defeated the remaining 4 people from NSMS, completing another 5 victories. At this moment, some of what Fong Ping said was completely recognized. Chapter 347. In the afternoon, MCMU versus SNMAU. As for the other team, ESNNU versus SE, no one cared. These 2 weaklings should entertain themselves. In the stadium, Fong Ping had arrived early. Qin Fengqing was eager to try. Fong Ping, how about letting me try? Lu Shiji has been very arrogant lately. Fong Ping glanced at him, feeling slightly regretful. Qin Fengqing had become smarter recently. He had thought that he could trick him into beating up Yeseninyu's Hu Yong last time. Unexpectedly, Hu Yong was still alive and kicking. Qin Fengqing obviously did not beat him up. Forget it. Looks like this guy has become smarter. Fong Ping thought to himself. He did not mind. If he did not want to go, then so be it. After some thought, Fong Ping suddenly said, "Lend me your saber for a while." Qin Fengqing looked wary. "Don't you have one?" "My saber can't be used easily. I forgot to bring my Yenuadeo this time. Lend me yours first." "No way. I don't want yours." Fong Ping was speechless. "Your broken saber is only B class. Do you think I want it?" Qin Fengqing was reluctant. Among those present, he was the only one who used a saber. Chen Wenlong and Xia Lei used their fists. Zhang Yu used a sword. Even if the others used sabers, they were usually C-class with average quality. His saber was the best. Staring at Fong Ping's saber, Qin Fengqing thought for a while and said, "Then I'll keep your saber with me first." Fong Ping was speechless. "Do I need it?" "I need it. Forget it. I won't lend it to you." Fong Ping rolled his eyes. He walked to the side and took Liang Fenghua's saber, smiling. "If it's broken, my saber is yours." Liang Fenghua chuckled. "No need. I'm ready to change anyway. But C-class alloy saber, it's fine. C-class is just right." Fong Ping weighed the Chongdao in his hand and looked at Qin Fengqing, saying, "Initially, I was thinking that if it's a little damaged, then I'll compensate you with my Yenuadeo. Something like a saber. Even if it's chipped, it's still valuable. It's a pity that you didn't cherish this opportunity." Qin Fengqing turned a deaf ear. "Do you think I'm stupid? Liang Fenghua is from the same sect as you? It's possible for you to be more generous." MCMAU's side was having a lively discussion. On the other side, in Sino Nation Martial Arts University, a middle-aged rank 6 powerhouse glanced at Fong Ping and the others, saying in a low voice, "Be careful of his mentality, intimidation." Fong Ping just broke through. No matter how hard he cultivates his combat techniques, his progress won't improve by leaps and bounds. The key is still having a strong mentality. For you, mentality can't be released externally. Although rank for martial artists are also accumulating their mentality, once you're disturbed, it will still affect your ability to perform. As long as they defeated Fong Ping, even if SNMU lost, their reputation would rise. Up until now, the two famous schools have yet to lose a match. At this time, CCMEU and MCMEU, including the first military school, had not been defeated, not even once. I know. Teacher, don't worry. His mental strength is strong, so I'm prepared for it. Lu Shiji said in a deep voice. After all, he is not a grandmaster and is at the same level as me. It won't be that easy for him to disturb me. It's good that you're prepared. Do your best. Definitely. Lu Shiji took a deep breath and walked forward with his saber. The second battle between peak rank for martial artists is about to begin. Sino Nation Martial Arts University President Lu Shiji is ranked very high in the rank for ranking list, a few places ahead of MCMU Chen Wenlong. MCMU President Fong Ping has yet to enter the ranking list. Before he could finish, Fong Ping leaped up and went straight to the arena, smiling. Senior Lu, come on up. The commentator was a little speechless. It's a fact that you're not on the ranking list. I'm just stating the truth. Why are you in such a hurry to go on stage? Lu Shiji did not hesitate either. He moved his feet and leaped onto the arena. When he was on the arena, Fong Ping was no longer in a hurry. He used the alloy saber in his hand to knock on the ground. This action made the CCMU powerhouses on the rostrum change their expressions instantly. However, very soon, someone let out a light humph and said, if he's so capable, then continue. A-class alloy-covered arena. Why don't you fight then? When the alloy reached B-class, it was already extremely sturdy. Even a rank 6 powerhouse wanting to destroy a B-class alloy weapon was not an easy task. Under normal circumstances, A-class was a weapon used by peak rank 6 powerhouses. When peak rank 6 powerhouses fought against each other, it was also difficult to destroy each other's weapons. As soon as this person finished speaking, Huang Jing laughed and said, everyone is worrying too much. If Fong Ping really had this idea, he would have destroyed it in the previous few battles. He didn't fight in the previous battles, right? A CCMAU Grandmaster added faintly. In the previous 2 battles, it was Chen Wenlong who went on stage. He just did not give Fong Ping a chance. He's really willing to go all out. Fong Ping sighed. It was really A-class. He did not go up to take a closer look before. Now that he looked at it carefully, it was no wonder that there was not even a dent in the arena in the previous battles. I'll forget about it this time. Fong Ping could not break the arena made of A-class alloy. However, when he used his Chaos Vanquishing Saber, it would not be a problem to break some. There was still a difference between the alloy on the arena and the weapons forged. The alloy on the arena had not been forged many times. Its density and toughness were not enough. Opposite him, Lu Shiji seemed to know what he was thinking. He laughed and said, Fong Ping, don't tell me you expect to defeat me with alloy fragments. Are you kidding me? Fong Ping was testing the alloy's strength. Did he want to repeat what he did last time? However, he was not Kong Yuanrong. Kong Yuanrong might not even be able to take one move from him. Fong Ping chuckled and said, Senior Lu's guess is spot on. Having said that, Fong Ping looked below the arena and said softly, the audience this time is really pitiful. Lu Shiji did not understand. Fong Ping did not explain. The battle ended so quickly. You didn't see anything. You spent $1,000. Isn't it pitiful? The two of them chatted for a while. The referee came over in the air and said, Battle begins. As soon as the words left his mouth, Lu Shiji's arms expanded instantly. Within the blood-red color, there was a faint golden glow. The Chongdao in his hands was also instantly filled with a thick vitality. As soon as the battle began, Lu Shiji was ready to use his ultimate move. Against Fong Ping, everyone's consensus was not to fight a battle of attrition. They would use their ultimate move as soon as they got on stage and defeat him quickly. That way, Fang Ping's advantage would be minimized. Slash! Lu Shiji roared. His movements were done in one go, almost instantaneously. In the audience's eyes, as soon as the referee spoke, Lu Shiji's Changdao exploded with an intense blood-red glow and instantly slashed down from above Fang Ping's head. I've already said, don't let others take advantage of you. Fang Ping's voice seemed to ring in Lu Shiji's ears. The look in Lu Shiji's eyes changed. Without thinking, he leaped into the air to avoid it. Don't run, Fang Ping chuckled, holding a C-class Changdao with both hands. His voice was calm, but a strong vitality exploded from the body of the saber. Kill! With a cold roar, Fang Ping's figure appeared on his opponent's right. The Changdao slashed through the air, the explosion like thunder. Boom! The audience could not see anything, but Lu Shiji's pupils contracted slightly. He quickly pulled out his saber and counterattacked. The two sabers collided, and sparks flew everywhere. Lu Shiji felt the pressure in an instant. Fang Ping's vitality was too strong. Old Wang, 97, I'll 98. No one knew who Fang Ping was talking to. Lu Shiji had just blocked the first slash. The Changdao in Fang Ping's hand did not seem to move, but Lu Shiji felt the pressure for the second time. That was not enough. The continuous slashes shook him, causing Lu Shiji to fall continuously. Less than 2,500 calories vitality. This won't do. Your physique is a little weak too. Fang Ping's laughter reached Lu Shiji's ears again. The alloy shard is enough to defeat you. In the next moment, the Changdao in Fang Ping's hand shattered, and countless shards shot toward him. Lu Shiji's expression was ugly. He swung his saber to block. Before the saber rose, Fang Ping clenched his hands into fists and hammered out Vajra fists. Boom, boom, boom. Lu Shiji did not know how many punches he had taken. Fang Ping seemed to know no exhaustion. His vitality seemed endless, and the continuous hammering made Lu Shiji retreat continuously. A few times he tried to leave Fang Ping's attack range, but before he could do so, Fang Ping's mentality began to erupt, suppressing him continuously. At this moment, Fang Ping was like a mad demon. His fists waved tirelessly, and his speed was extremely fast. Every punch exploded with a strong vitality force. Lu Shiji was also constantly blocking, even looking for opportunities to counterattack. But before he could make a move, he was interrupted by Fang Ping's quick fists. Invincible punch! This time, Fang Ping roared. In the void, a blood-red fist condensed completely from vitality force appeared out of thin air. The blood-red fist pierced through space and appeared in front of Lu Shiji's chest in the blink of an eye. Boom! The sound of an explosion was heard. A bowl-sized hole was blasted in Lu Shiji's chest. In the next moment, countless alloy shards shot toward him almost at the same time, piercing through Lu Shiji's body and creating countless penetrating wounds. It was slow to say, but fast to fight. From the moment Fang Ping shattered the weapon to the moment Fang Ping punched the other party's chest, with such a short distance and time, when the shards hit the other party, Fang Ping had already completed hundreds of punches. The audience only saw Fang Ping and Lu Shiji chatting for a while. Then the match began. Then Lu Shiji erupted, and then the two of them fought in midair. In the end, Lu Shiji was bathed in blood, his clothes tattered, and blood was still gushing out of his chest as he fell onto the battle stage. At this moment, Fang Ping floated down. Other than the saber in his hand, it was as if nothing had happened. Thank you for letting me win. Lu Shiji was still spewing blood from his mouth. He struggled to stand up, clutching his chest and panting. Master Lu's invincible punch? Fang Ping smiled without saying a word. Outside the arena, SNMAU's vice-chancellor frowned slightly. He felt a little embarrassed. How could he believe that? The rank 6 commentator's judgment was not weak. She had already started explaining. Everyone says that Fang Ping's cultivation of combat techniques is weak, but I don't think that's the case. His Maha Punch has already reached the stage of condensing vitality and releasing chi. First, he used Vajra Punch to force Lu Shiji to defend. When Fang Ping broke through his defense, He had no time to pay attention to anything else. Then, he used Maha Punch and severely injured Lu Shiji with one punch. I don't think it's because Fong Ping's cultivation of combat techniques is deep. Have you noticed? His Maha Punch did not severely injure Lu Shiji's internal organs, which means that the penetrating force is not strong enough. Lu Shiji was injured mainly because vitality force is too strong. Fong Ping. He condensed a vitality ball that is completely made up of vitality force and injured the other party. The female commentator felt that she could not go on. Yes, Fong Ping's combat techniques were not that impressive, at least when compared to other people. However, this guy had found a different path. He did not continue to work hard on his combat techniques. No one knew how he had figured it out, but he had applied the combat techniques method of vitality release and condensation. He had condensed a vitality ball with rich vitality force and exploded it, injuring Lu Shiji. What was this? Fireball technique? No, vitality ball technique. How much vitality force had been condensed in that blood-red fist shadow just now? 1,000 calories? 2,000 calories? Anyway, it was very strong. Otherwise, Lu Shiji, who cultivated bodybuilding techniques and cultivated his body to be extremely strong, would not have been blown up so easily. Middle-ranked martial artists' weak points were their internal organs and head. However, Fong Ping did not attack these weak points. Instead, he directly blew up his body. The two commentators did not know how to explain. Was Fong Ping strong? Very strong. Otherwise, he could not have defeated Lu Shiji so quickly. However, he was so strong, it made people unhappy. At least, the martial artists were not happy. They could even say that they were jealous. What the F***CK were you using vitality force for? Rank for martial artists. Normal peak martial artists had 2,000 calories vitality. If you randomly made a vitality ball, you would probably deplete a rank for martial artist vitality. Fong Ping did not care how deep the other people's resentment was. What was vitality worth? 1,000 calories was only 1,000,000 wealth points. Defeating Lu Shiji was a bit wasteful. He had used up almost 3,000 calories vitality. However, who cared about 3,000,000 wealth points? Fong Ping was rich and overbearing. Defeating Lu Shiji as quickly as possible, spending 3,000,000 wealth points was worth it. He was a top-notch powerhouse in the rank for ranking list. If he did not waste it, and he did not use his saber, who knew how many moves he would have to fight, would that not make him look too weak? Fong Ping stood in the arena, confident and at ease. He smiled and said, "Continue." The referee heard him and gestured for SNMAU to continue. Off stage, Wang Jinyang frowned slightly. After a while, he said, "He's so willful with vitality." It was not that he was rich. Fong Ping had so much vitality force. Which rank for martial artists fought like this? Fong Ping could be considered to have created a new sect. Of course, Fong Ping's vitality and money were the same thing. Wang Jinyang felt helpless and envious. Even with a bone marrow mutation, his vitality recovery was not as fast as yours. How did you do it, kid? In reality, he did not see Fong Ping's ability in this battle. He only knew that Fong Ping had a lot of vitality force. That was the only thought he had. Li Hansong and the others had similar thoughts as Wang Jinyang. Li Hansong's expression was extremely conflicted. What was this? He did not see anything. Han Su could not see through peak rank for martial artists. Seeing the situation, he said, Fong Ping defeated Lu Shiji so easily. President, if you go up against him, Li Hansong scratched his head and said helplessly, "I don't know. Let's wait and see. If he throws 8 or 10 vitality balls at me, I don't know if I can block it." It was a martial arts fight, but Fong Ping had used magic skills from novels. Li Hansong was a little confused. He did not understand. He did not understand. They were not the only ones who did not understand. The grandmasters on the platform looked at each other. Of course, everyone could understand the principle behind Fong Ping's vitality balls. It was too simple. It was a high-ranked combat technique that released vitality and condensed it into a vitality ball. The key was, Fong Ping was a rank for martial artist. Instead of cultivating combat techniques properly, he was doing this. They always felt that it was unorthodox. Moreover, the others did not have the ability to replicate it. The grandmasters shook their heads. There was no way to compare. What was there to compare? Fong Ping's mentality was strong. His bone marrow was mutated. Maybe even his brain was mutated. Mutated martial artists like this were rare. This year's championship had gathered 4 of them. This was the first time in history. The others did not understand. Qin Fengqing, however, was deep in thought. He murmured, "Vitality balls? Isn't this the move used to feed the Jiao? So, it can also hit people?" When Fong Ping fed the Jiao, it was more or less the same way. He just did not make the vitality force explode. If it hurt the Jiao's mouth, the Jiao would probably swallow Fong Ping alive. Putting everyone's thoughts aside, Fong Ping had defeated Lu Shiji. When he went up against the rest of SNMU, it was almost a one-hit kill. He did not use any powerful moves. His mentality intimidation combined with his strong vitality force and physical strength made it easy for him to defeat these martial artists below peak rank with one punch. They could not even escape. In less than 2 minutes, Fong Ping ended the battle. In this battle, he had used up a total of 3,800 calories of vitality. However, his recovery speed was not slow. In reality, he did not use much of his wealth. His vitality was already very high. When he got off the stage, Fong Ping glanced at Yao Qingjun. "I'll hit you next." Yao Qingjun's expression was cold. No one knew if he was cursing in his heart. Chapter 348. Fong Ping had defeated Sino Nation Martial Arts University effortlessly. The powerhouses could understand it, but normal people did not. All they knew was that MCMU's Fong Ping was really too strong. Sino Nation Martial Arts University's Lu Shiji ranked higher than 9 states' military schools Shaoyuming. Even so, such a powerhouse did not last more than 30 seconds in Fong Ping's hands. In no time at all, the title of the strongest rank was quickly taken over by Fong Ping. Sun City. Fong Yuan was overjoyed. Her brother was too amazing. Before this, he had been worried that Fong Ping would not be a match for the others. Who knew that a powerhouse in the top 100 ranking would be so weak, beaten down by his own brother in just a few moves? 699 talent points, close to full talent points. Amazing. Fong Yuan was a little envious. Fong Ping was so strong because of his talent. He had only been in a martial arts university for less than 2 years, and now these juniors and seniors could not even compare to him. He heard that even Auspicious Sun's commander could not compare to his older brother. This speed of cultivation was all because of his high talent. Fong Yuan was a little disappointed when she thought of that. Her talent was only 160, much lower than Fong Ping's. Over the past few days, she had also looked it up on the internet. No one talked about the level of talent on the internet. Martial arts talent naturally existed, but there was no specific quantified numerical unit. Fong Yuan did not mind. What did the others know? Those who were not in the field of martial arts would not understand such things. So whatever, I'll try to improve my talent a little. Even if I can't compare to Fong Ping, I can't be too far behind others. Fong Yuan sighed. She had not dared to tell anyone about this for the past few days, for fear that the members of Yuan Ping Club would find out that their president's martial arts talent was very poor. Fong Yuan stopped thinking about it and continued to send messages in the group. Since her big brother had won, it was time for her to continue hyping things up. It was time for Yuan Ping Club to become Yuan Ping Corporation. December 16th. On this day, SNMU was up against First Military School, and CCMU was up against 9 states military school. MCMU had a rest day. NMU was up against ESNNU. Fong Ping did not even bother to look. Lu Shiji had been seriously injured by him yesterday. Although his internal organs were not injured, his chest had been blasted open. He was not a golden body expert, so how could he recover so quickly? If Yao Qingjun could not even take care of Sino Nation Martial Arts University, then he would be too useless. There was no need to even mention CCMAU's battle against Jojo. NMU versus ESNNU. Fong Ping thought that whoever saw it would be an idiot. The big news on the 16th was not that the three schools that were sure to win had won. It wasn't that Wang Jinyang had defeated Yesininu in 5 moves. The big news that day was that after Yesininu had finished their last match and lost to NMU, Huyong was ambushed on his way back to the hotel. In broad daylight, not long after the teachers of Yesininu left, Huyong was ambushed. A mysterious man wearing a mask had torn Huyong's clothes in the hotel. According to what Huyong had said in grief and indignation, the person who had come was very strong and very wretched. He had specifically targeted his clothes and might have had ulterior motives. The other party tore apart his clothes and was even ready to take pictures. Fortunately, Yeseninu's instructors rushed over. The mysterious person fled in a hurry, extremely fast. For the time being, it was impossible to tell if he was a rank 4 or rank 5 martial artist because the person's speed was really fast. As for who it was, that day, there was a grandmaster in the hotel, but the other party did not stop it. When the principal of Yesininu went to ask about it, the other party did not say who it was. In short, it was very meaningful. This time, Yesininu did not know who did this. Logically speaking, it was only MCWU who could do this. After all, the two schools had been on bad terms before. However, MCWU was full of female martial artists. Moreover, to be honest, if they wanted to take revenge, tearing apart Huyong's clothes was too wretched. The grandmaster in the hotel did not say who it was, and Huyong was not seriously injured. Yesininu knew that the person who had come was not too malicious. In the end, they could not find the person, so they could only swallow their anger. The matter was in an uproar. Fortunately, Yeseninu's group competition had come to an end. There was no competition for the time being, so Huyong did not have to go out anymore. Otherwise, it would be very embarrassing. In the hotel where MCWU was staying, in the restaurant, Fong Ping stared at Qin Fengqing for a long time. Not bad. This guy actually held it in until now. I thought he really did not take it seriously. Extremely fast. Tearing apart Huyong's clothes, wearing a mask. Such a shameful thing. Other than Qin Fengqing, who else could it be? Qin Fengqing did not seem to know anything. When he saw Fong Ping looking at him, he frowned and said, "What are you looking at me for? Are you confident in fighting FMS tomorrow?" Old Qin, Fong Ping grinned and said, "About this matter, do you want me to beat around the bush and give you credit?" "What? Hey, who are we? Why are you still pretending?" Qin Fengqing scoffed. "Don't malign me, I didn't do it. Do you think I believe you? Believe it or not, it's up to you. Then I'll tell the principal of Yesininu. You can go. If you go, I'll tell him that you were the one who asked me to go. You're the president. If I don't go, you'll make me quit school?" Fong Ping. Fong Ping immediately thought highly of him. Not bad. You actually know how to drag people down with you. If Qin Fengqing told others about this, Yeseninu's vice-chancellor would definitely believe that it was Fong Ping who asked him to do it. There was no other reason than his reputation. Fong Ping was speechless. He pursed his lips and said, "What about Zhou Qiwei? Don't be a busybody." Qin Fengqing humphed. "I sent her a message. It's better to forget each other than to help each other in difficult times. For martial artists of our generation, before the catacombs are pacified, how can we call ourselves home? I believe she can understand. This way, she won't be hurt, and I can save a lot of trouble." Fong Ping gulped. "And then? What then?" "And then Zhou Qiwei didn't reply to your message." Qin Fengqing thought for a moment and said, "She did. I didn't really understand." "What did she reply to?" "She said she won't forget it for the rest of her life." "Do you think she's going to pester me?" Qin Fengqing seemed to have a headache. Female martial artists were very troublesome. Fong Ping was also stunned for a while. He only came to his senses after a while. Did Zhou Qiwei misunderstand something? Or did she think that Qin Fengqing was talking about the catacombs to make her forget her hatred? Fong Ping laughed dryly and did not ask anymore. If this matter was exposed one day, he would be beaten to death by these two people. No, he had to add Huyong too. Maybe there was also Yeseninu's grandmaster? Fong Ping did not talk about this. When Chen Wenlong and the others arrived, He returned to the main topic. Tomorrow we'll fight FMS. I'll be the starter. Chen Wenlong second. Zhang Yu third. As for FMS, Yao Qingjun won't be sending me food. He'll definitely be first, and Bai Su will be second. If I fight Yao Qingjun honestly, I'll definitely win, but it depends on my condition. If I'm injured, I might not continue in the second battle because I'll either be fighting Wang Jinyang or Li Hansong the day after tomorrow. If I'm seriously injured, it'll delay things. Chen Wenlong said in a low voice, "Don't worry, Bai Su is not my opponent. As long as you defeat Yao Qingjun, then we'll win for sure. Even if I don't win, if Yao Qingjun fights you, I'm confident that I can beat him." That's good. Fong Ping nodded. Chen Wenlong pondered for a moment and said, "If you defeat Yao Qingjun, they might choose to break through. How about I break through too?" You? Fong Ping shook his head. You entered peak earlier than them. Your honing speed isn't as fast as theirs. Your vital organs haven't been honed to the limit. After entering rank 5, the honing of your vital organs might be rejected. Wait a little longer. It doesn't matter even if you break through to rank 5. Why would I be afraid of them? Chen Wenlong heard that, and did not say anything else. He had broken through now and reached rank 5. Honing his vital organs might be a little troublesome. December 17th, the last day of the group stage. There were 2 matches in the morning. 9 states against Southeast and South Capital against SNMAU. These 2 matches were not worth watching. They were both teams that could not advance. The 2 matches in the afternoon were the real highlights. MCMAU against First Military School. NMU against CCMAU. There were not many people in the morning matches. Unsurprisingly, 9 states defeated SNMAU. SCMAU and SNMAU, on the other hand, fought well. Liu Shiji was not a golden body powerhouse. He had not recovered from Fong Ping's serious injuries. Now that there was no hope of advancing, SNMAU did not let Liu Shiji fight with his injuries. Under such circumstances, SCMU fought well with the other party. Both sides fought until the last person was exhausted. It was the first tie since the start of the competition. This made SCMU very happy. They did not expect to get a bargain at this time. In the afternoon, when Fong Ping led the team into the arena, he met Chen Yaoding. He kept moving toward him, looking like he had done something. He could not wait for Chen Yaoding to say that he did not want a heart essence. Fong Ping was not someone who did not return money. Chen Yaoding owed him half a heart essence, and he had been thinking about it for a long time. Chen Yaoding ignored him, treating him as if he did not exist. Fong Ping did not have any results. On Qin Fengqing's side, Huiyong came to watch the competition with his head and face covered. He saw Qin Fengqing and felt that he looked familiar. Of course, Qin Fengqing was familiar. However, this familiarity was not that kind of familiarity. After hesitating for a while, Huiyong moved closer and said in a low voice, "Qin Fengqing, I heard that your stepping technique is very fast. This time, what position did Fong Ping put you in against FMAU?" Qin Fengqing glanced at him, shook his head and said, "My speed is average. Fong Ping's is fast. Also, don't ask about us. Fong Ping has been unhappy with you for a long time. If he hears it, he'll take the opportunity to make trouble for you." Fong Ping doesn't like me? Huiyong looked surprised. I did not provoke him. Didn't you guys fight against MCWU last time? After that, they said it was Fong Ping who said it. Fong Ping was so angry that he's been trying to make trouble for you. Huiyong's expression changed. He laughed dryly. Really? Really? Qin Fengqing sneered. You don't know him well enough. He's a vengeful person. Cough, cough. Right. Didn't Fong Ping come to watch the competition yesterday? Yes. He said he wanted to prepare for the battle against FMAU. He didn't leave the hotel. Oh, Fong Ping is quite serious. Huiyong nodded and said casually, Fong Ping's speed is very fast. I've heard about it too. I heard that he escaped from a rank 6 a long time ago. Not only that, he even escaped from a rank 8 jiao. Having said that, Qin Fengqing asked cautiously, What? Are you a spy from FMAU? Huiyong smiled bitterly. What are you talking about? SNNU and FMAU have nothing to do with each other. Forget it, I won't ask any more, okay? Hu Yong did not stay any longer. Before he left, he glanced at Fong Ping on the rostrum. Not bad. Fong Ping did not come to watch the competition yesterday. I didn't see him for the whole day. Extremely fast, vengeful, wasn't very broad-minded. Time and motive. He had it all. However, the Grandmaster in the hotel did not say who hit him. It was normal that he knew it was Fong Ping. Fong Ping was MCMU's prodigy, or rather, Sino Nation's top prodigy. Such a small matter had been exposed. If Fong Ping really wanted to hold a grudge, the Grandmaster would have a headache too. It was understandable that he did not say it out loud. Fong Ping. Hu Yong gritted his teeth. Just you wait. It doesn't matter if I'm your opponent. I still have my instructor. I'll ask my instructor to find a chance to beat you up and let you run around naked. Achoo! Fong Ping sneezed and rubbed his nose. He looked at Yao Qingjun not far away and sneered. Cursing me in your heart? Do you really think I don't know? Yao Qingjun's expression darkened. Yes, I'm cursing you. Your dog nose is really sharp. At this moment, Qin Fengqing walked over leisurely. He yawned and glanced at Fong Ping. Perfect shift of responsibility. It did not matter if Fong Ping wanted to use this to threaten him in the future. It was obvious who Hu Yong believed. Fong Ping, your reputation is no better than mine. If Fong Ping really wanted to shift the responsibility to me, I'll admit it. I'll pretend to be wronged. For the sake of YSNNU and MCMAU, I'll take the blame for MCMAU's Fong Ping. After all, Fong Ping is the president. How could he do something like that? I, Qin Fengqing, have to take the blame. TSK. Righteous and considerate. Even if I'm beaten up by the people from YSNNU, the school might have to compensate me with a lot of benefits. Qin Fengqing was delighted. The only thing that gave him a headache was that the tigress seemed to be really pestering him. It was a little troublesome. At this moment, the two of them naturally did not realize that they had each made the other a scapegoat. Fong Ping did not care about Qin Fengqing's arrival. He glanced at a place not far away. Wang Jinyang and Li Hansong were there too. I really want to say, all three of you, come with me together, Fong Ping said faintly. Right now he was slightly lacking. This was because he was catching up on his cultivation progress. However, after rank 5, everyone's ranks would be the same. Everyone's time to enter rank 5 would not be too different. Could they be faster than him in cultivating combat techniques? When that time came, Fong Ping would not hesitate to say, all three of you, come at me together. What a pity. It was a pity that MCMU had to win first place. There was a gap of at least 5 billion. It was not just a year, but every year. This kind of big event should not be taken as a joke. Yao Qingjun pretended not to hear it. Everyone had the thought of dominating the current generation. Fong Ping was not the only one. He took another look at Fong Ping's saber. From the start of the competition until now, Fong Ping had not used his saber. Was he pretending, or was he really that strong? At the same time, a few Grandmaster powerhouses were also discussing this. Is Fong Ping learning from Li Changxing? A CCMEU Grandmaster asked. Huang Jing chuckled and said, it's just a form. Not everyone can learn Li Changxing's swordsmanship. That's true, the CCMEU Grandmaster said, then said in a low voice, the Nanjiang catacombs are about to open. Recently, the energy fluctuations have been getting stronger and stronger. Is Li Changxing going? Yes. Huang Jing's smile faded. He responded and did not speak again. In the field, a few Grandmasters fell silent. After a while, the CCMU Grandmaster said, back then, the few of us were bullied by him. He would come looking for trouble when he had nothing better to do. He was a rank 5 fighting a rank 6. Once the longevity sword was out, he was insufferably arrogant. Now he has become a piece of trash. Last time I suppressed him a few times, and he secretly scolded me a lot. But it's fine. He can scold me all he wants. I'm still waiting for him to seek revenge on me. Now that the Nanjiang catacombs are open, if he goes, will he still be able to seek revenge on me in this life? Huang Jing continued to be silent. The CCMU Grandmaster chuckled and said, "It's good that he's dead. At least he's lived past 60 years. It's just that he's not satisfied. He said that he can beat me like he's beating his grandson. This old piece of trash has never been able to enter rank 7 in his life. I want to see if he can beat me like he's beating his grandson once he enters rank 7. Huang Jing said softly, "He won't have a chance. When Fong Ping reaches rank 7, I'm afraid he'll come after you." Isn't Fong Ping Lu Fengru's student? He's considered half a student. The CCMU Grandmaster nodded slightly. No wonder. The longevity sword nurturing method was not passed down to just anyone. Then I'm looking forward to it. The CCMU Grandmaster smiled. Suddenly, he said with some sadness, "In this life, I've never won against an old piece of trash at the same rank. Li Hansong is considered half a student of mine. Tell me, if Li Hansong wins, does that mean that I'm stronger than the old piece of trash?" Everyone was silent. Huang Jing murmured, "You can't do it. Your student can't do it either. Longevity swordsman. One sword to cut off longevity. It's a pity for this junior of mine." The atmosphere was gloomy. Today their generation was high and mighty. They were known as grandmasters, and their names were known throughout the world. How many people could still remember the carefree and unrestrained longevity sword that swept away his peers in the past? Carefree and unrestrained? Old man Li rubbed his messy hair, yawning as he walked out of the courtyard. The one with the broken arm. Where are the people in the school? Why are there so few? In the garden, the one-armed old man laughed and said, "The championship is almost at the finals. They've all gone to watch the competition. How are we doing?" "Not bad. The day before yesterday, Fong Ping defeated SNMAU's Lu Shiji. It was an easy fight." Old Manly grinned and said, "This kid is good." Having said that, Old Manly looked back and smiled. "When he comes back later, ask him to help me tidy up the house." The one-armed old man looked at him for a while. After a while, he said in a low voice, "Must you go?" "It's none of your business." Old Manly was not polite at all. Then he said happily, "I'm going to be famous this time." The one with the broken arm. "Wait for my good news. Longevity swordsman cuts off longevity. If you're not rank 8, what kind of longevity is that?" After saying that, Old Manly laughed heartily and took off using flight step. Come on. The competition was about to begin. Fong Ping touched the saber at his waist, tilting his head and looking south. After a while, Fong Ping's smile returned. He turned to look at Qin Fengqing and said, "This time, you really have to lend me your saber. Otherwise, I can't fight anymore." Qin Fengqing thought for a while. Suddenly, he shouted, 10 million. As soon as he said that, everyone around looked at him. Fong Ping did not mind. He smiled and said, "Sure." Qin Fengqing glanced at Zhang Yu and the others. He said, "You all heard it. 10 million each time." He agreed to it himself. Fong Ping smiled. "Everyone can be my witness. I'm a person who values his reputation the most. I won't go back on my word." Only then did Qin Fengqing pass the saber to Fong Ping. Fong Ping took the Chongdao, weighed it in his hand, and said with satisfaction, "Not bad. You owe me 40 million. I'll deduct 10 million this time." What? What? Playing dumb? That day in the catacombs, many people heard about it. Ask Instructor Bai and the others. Who doesn't know? You want to go back on your word? I saw that you were poor, so I gave you a chance to deduct 10 million. Don't be ungrateful. Return this 40 million soon, or else I'll really collect interest. Fong Ping's face was full of dissatisfaction. He ignored him and strode into the arena. Below the stage, Qin Fengqing's expression was dark. You're good. Don't think that I really don't remember. I owe you a few million at most. Where did you get 40 million? Do you think I lost my memory from practicing martial arts? You're blackmailing me like this. Chapter 349. In the arena, Fong Ping leaped up, but Yao Qingjun walked up the stairs one step at a time. As he walked, the entire arena seemed to shake. Mentality filled the void, stirring the air and making it restless. The howling wind blew across the arena. Below the arena, the rank 6 commentator did not seem to know how to explain. At this moment, peak rank 6 old Fu walked over, gave the commentator a look, sat down, and said loudly, "Before the competition, Yao Qingjun challenged all kinds of powerhouses. Although he is only ranked 3rd in the rank for ranking, he has already accumulated his strength to the peak." Instructor Zhou Tan, who is ranked 2nd in rank 4, said that he might not be Yao Qingjuan's match. Yao Qingjuan's mentality is equivalent to a peak rank 6 martial artist. He has accumulated enough at peak rank 4 and could have broken through to rank 5 long ago. However, there are still a few geniuses in this generation who are also peak rank 4. There is no first place in literature and no second place in martial arts. Yao Qingjun did not choose to break through, but chose to stay at peak rank 4. I'm afraid MCMU Fong Ping is one of the key people. MCMU Fong Ping is the last person to enter peak rank for among the geniuses in this generation. However, being late doesn't mean that he is weak. Fong Ping's mentality has also reached the stage of external release. When he was in rank 3, he defeated his peers and entered rank 4 as an invincible rank 3. However, Fong Ping and the others have never fought before. This championship is also the first time the 4 geniuses of this generation will fight in martial arts. Both of them have reached the stage of external release. This is something that not even some peak rank 6 powerhouses can do. When Yao Qingjun was an aspiring martial artist, he was thrice honed. Now his vitality and physique are also very strong. His vitality force is not lower than 2,500 calories. Although Yao Qingjun is young, he has been through hundreds of battles. After entering rank 4, he has killed many rank 5, including middle stage rank 5 powerhouses. Fong Ping has only entered rank 4 recently. His combat experience is not as good as Yao Qingjuan's, but he has also killed rank 5 martial artists when he was rank 4. Old Master Fu kept introducing them to each other. Until now, many people had a better understanding of both of them. Both of them had reached the stage of external release of mentality. Both of them were thrice honed and killed rank 5 powerhouses. Although both of them were young, even some rank 5 and 6 older martial artists present dared not underestimate them. On the stage, Yao Qingjuan's pace was slow, and he finally stepped onto the stage. Yao Qingjuan's aura and mentality combined to unleash a powerful force, pressuring some of the rank 3 and 4 martial artists around the arena to the point of suffocation. However, it did not affect Yao Qingjun at all. Before Fong Ping could speak, Yao Qingjun took the initiative to say, "Fong Ping, actually, I wanted to fight you for a long time. Back when I heard that your psychic power was so strong that it could be unleashed, I had already thought of fighting you. Among rank for martial artists, only you and I can externalize mentality. Unfortunately, my realm was higher than yours before. Although I didn't want to fight against someone lower than me. It would be an unfair victory. Now that you've entered peak rank 4 and are at the same rank as me, I don't have to worry about these things anymore. Today, let's fight." Fong Ping chuckled. "Same here. I've been waiting for you for a long time. I've said it before, no matter how strong your accumulated aura is, it's all for me. It's an advantage for me, and I don't have to go around challenging others." Yao Qingjun stopped talking. The 6-pin referee waited until the two of them finished talking before he shouted in a heavy tone, "Begin!" Boom! As soon as the referee's voice fell, both of them were 7 to 8 meters away from each other, but they had already started fighting. Fong Ping and Yao Qingjun used mentality attacks at the same time. Invisible waves collided with each other halfway. The airflow exploded instantly, and strong winds blew across the arena. The alloy arena was fine, but the ground outside the arena was lifted up by a cloud of mud and rocks. Some of the spectating martial artists around them retreated one after another. Even some rank 5 martial artists did not linger at this moment. The sound of the air exploding rang out one after another. Yao Qingjun paled, retreating continuously. Fong Ping also staggered slightly, involuntarily taking a few steps back. Both of them stomped heavily on the ground. The A-grade alloy floor creaked under their stomps, their combat boots dragging sparks on the ground. In the blink of an eye, just after the mentality confrontation, both of their figures were like lightning, charging toward each other at the same time. Bang! A loud noise rang out suddenly. The surrounding airflow turned fiery red. A spear and a saber collided in an instant. There were no sparks, but waves of vitality force exploded, splattering everywhere. Retreat! A powerhouse bellowed, forcefully pulling the spectating members who had already retreated a distance further away. Boom! The splattering vitality force caused the ground outside the arena to explode again, blasting holes one after another. Many people who were watching felt their hearts palpitate. These two people were really strong. The audience below the arena was still in shock from the impact caused by the aftermath. Fang Ping and Yao Qingjun had already exchanged blows for more than 10 times. From the ground to midair, from midair, they fought back to the arena again. A loud roar resounded throughout the stadium. After exchanging more than 10 blows, the afterimages in everyone's eyes gradually became clear. Fang Ping stepped on the arena, his body forced to retreat more than 10 meters. His combat boots and Changdao dragged ear-piercing sounds of friction and countless sparks on the arena. At this moment, Fang Ping's expression was solemn. He was not dejected because he was temporarily at a disadvantage. Opposite him, Yao Qingjuan's face was slightly pale. He took a few steps back, but he was not dragged back by the force like Fang Ping. I underestimated you. Fang Ping spat out a mouthful of blood. He had indeed underestimated Yao Qingjun. He had always thought that his strength was the strongest among the rank for martial artists because of his strong vitality. He did not expect that although Yao Qingjuan's strength was not as strong as his combat techniques cultivation was profound, his penetrative power was stronger, and his explosive force was stronger, forcing him to retreat. Same. Yao Qingjun had not finished his words when he stretched his waist and back, wielding his spear and attacking again. The spear tip pierced through the void, piercing Fang Ping's throat in an instant. The audience around them gasped in surprise. The powerhouses were unmoved. As expected, Yao Qingjuan's spear seemed to have pierced a bubble. The afterimages shattered. In the next moment, Fang Ping's figure appeared in midair, raising his saber and slashing. The moment the saber fell, Yao Qingjun had already reacted. The Changdao shook, the spear tip colliding with the Changdao dozens of times. Ding, ding, dang, dang, sounds were incessant, piercing everyone's eardrums as if they were about to burst. Hum! A loud explosion was heard. Fang Ping did not attack again. Instead, he performed the flight step and went straight into the sky. The sound was the explosion of the airflow. Yao Qingjun did not chase after him. Instead, he stood on the arena with his spear in hand, his gaze solemn. In midair, a gust of airflow stirred around Fang Ping. A few blood-red vortexes appeared around his body. In the blink of an eye, the little red dots turned into 7 or 8 fist-sized blood-red jade-like objects. Fall! Fang Ping growled. The vitality ball condensed from vitality force broke through the void, crashing down rapidly. In the arena, Yao Qingjuan's expression was solemn. With a step, he left his original spot. Fang Ping, who was in midair, descended rapidly, using his mentality to control the vitality ball to chase after him. Making the vitality ball explode was not out of his control. His mentality could control it. Yao Qingjuan's expression did not change. He did not retreat either. The spear tip glowed with a dazzling light. With a thrust of the spear, he hit a few vitality balls consecutively. Bang! 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 Explosions were heard one after another. The airflow tumbled. At this moment, even the audience area could feel the suffocating pressure. The vitality ball exploded. The airflow swept across the surroundings. Dust flew everywhere. The ground within a radius of tens of meters seemed to have caved in out of thin air. Amidst the smoke and dust, Yao Qingjun was not injured. His face was slightly pale, but he charged toward Fang Ping with his spear in hand, not giving Fang Ping any more chances to perform. Fong Ping's gaze was solemn. He let out an angry roar. Accompanying the roar, his mentality erupted completely, condensing into an invisible needle, piercing toward Yao Qingjuan's skull instantly. Yao Qingjuan's expression did not change. A crimson airflow appeared above his head, mixed with his own mentality, enveloping Fong Ping's invisible needle in an instant. At the same time, Yao Qingjuan's long spear was more than 10 meters away. He released his force, unleashing a spear glow, charging toward Fong Ping in an instant. Explode! Fong Ping growled again. The crimson airflow exploded instantly. Yao Qingjuan's face turned pale instantly. The spear glow that was shot out was shaky. Then, it was shattered by Fong Ping's saber. Nonsense! At this moment, on the grandstand, a middle-aged man in military uniform let out a low roar. A look of worry flashed across his eyes. Huang Jing and the rest looked extremely solemn. Both of them, especially Fong Ping, seemed to be fighting in a simple manner, but it was extremely dangerous. Just now, Fong Ping directly let his mentality explode, almost tearing Yao Qingjuan's mentality apart. The confrontation of mentality was the most dangerous. Fong Ping exploded his mentality. If he was slightly careless, he could cause his brain to die. This kind of combat technique was usually used by grandmasters or peak rank 6 powerhouses when they were fighting for their lives. Back in the catacombs, when MCMU's old vice-chancellor and the others were fighting for their lives, they used this kind of method. They gathered their strength as one, combining their mentality and vitality force into one, then exploding it directly, blasting the enemy's mentality into pieces. This was a fighting method of mutual destruction. After watching for a while, Huang Jing breathed a sigh of relief. It's not completely exploding. That's good. Fong Ping did not completely explode his mentality. Only a part of it. A part of the explosion could still be recovered. Moreover, it was not all of it. Although it did cause damage to Yao Qingjun, it was not fatal. Even so, the Grandmaster powerhouses of FMS were still somewhat worried. An injury to one's mental power was an extremely serious injury. In the arena, at this moment, Fong Ping stopped attacking. He panted slightly. I have to say, you're very strong. However, you should not have confronted my mentality. I did not want to seriously injure you. Yao Qingjun, admit defeat. Yao Qingjuan's face was pale, but he did not say a word. He withdrew the slightly injured mentality into his body, then continued to attack Fong Ping with a spear. Seeing this, Fong Ping did not say anything else. A strong vitality glow erupted from the saber. In the next moment, the saber and spear collided. Yao Qingjun took a few steps back, but Fong Ping flew backward, blood spurting from his mouth. Yao Qingjuan's soaring Dragon 9 strikes has been cultivated to the extreme. In terms of combat techniques, Fong Ping is slightly weaker. Old Fu explained. The rank 6 commentator beside him asked, in Old Fu's opinion, who is the winner between the two? I'm afraid Yao Qingjun is going to lose. Old Fu shook his head slightly, saying regretfully, Fong Ping, other than being slightly lacking in combat techniques, he is almost better than him in all aspects. Yao Qingjuan's combat experience may be better than Fong Ping's, but right now his execution is somewhat limited. Fong Ping's fighting style is to crush all the way. Experience is not very useful here. Yao Qingjun was extremely strong, but Fong Ping's mentality was stronger than his. His physique was strong, his vitality was strong, and most importantly, he could recover quickly. When faced with an opponent like this, Fong Ping could recover very quickly if he could not injure him with one shot. If there was an adjective to describe Fong Ping, it would be sticky candy. He was too difficult to fight. Moreover, this was not a real fight to the death. In a real fight to the death, judging from the situation just now, Fong Ping might be able to kill Yao Qingjun quickly. The premise was that Fong Ping's mentality could really recover continuously. Of course, if Yao Qingjun did not use his mentality to fight Fong Ping might not be able to find an opportunity so easily. In midair, Yao Qingjun was not someone who gave up easily. After giving up on the fight to the death with mentality, Yao Chengjuan's spear technique was at the point of perfection, almost suppressing Fang Ping. From the looks of the situation, Fang Ping was at a disadvantage. However, anyone with a discerning eye knew that Yao Qingjun was now an arrow at the end of its flight. Although his combat techniques were strong, they were not strong enough to kill Fang Ping in a second. Fang Ping kept vomiting blood, but he was very tenacious. He was also constantly finding time to counterattack. Fang Ping's every slash was an outburst of his full strength. Unlike Yao Qingjun, who failed several strong attacks, his attacks gradually weakened. In the beginning, Yao Qingjun was suppressing Fang Ping. In the end, it was the other way around. Fang Ping began to suppress Yao Qingjun. Both of them were covered in wounds, bathed in blood. Fang Ping, on the other hand, became braver the more he fought. Yao Qingjun was already showing signs of weakness. A deafening roar fell from mid-air to the ground, and then from the ground to mid-air. Although most people could not see the silhouettes of both of them clearly, it did not hinder the audience's excitement. Whether they were strong or not, they did not look at anything else. They only looked at the aftermath of the battle. At this moment, the ground around the arena had already caved in from the aftermath of the battle between both of them. Intense sparks shot out from the arena from time to time. The entire arena was shaking. More than 10 minutes later, a silhouette fell from mid-air outside the arena. Yao Qingjun stabbed his spear into the ground, causing the ground to tremble. Barely stabilizing his body, Yao Qingjun panted violently. His face was deathly pale. The military uniform on his body was also tattered. Sticky blood dripped continuously, smashing onto the ground. After a while, Fang Ping also landed from midair. Although his body was covered in wounds, his eyes were bright. He smiled. "Do you want to continue?" Yao Qingjun did not utter a word. After a while, he said in a hoarse voice, "Take my last spear." "All right." Before his voice died away, the long spear that was stabbed into the ground suddenly tore the surrounding ground apart, instantly turning into a dazzling beam that charged toward Fang Ping. Fang Ping growled. His Changdao slashed down like thunder. Bang! Bang! Slash after slash. Outsiders could not see how many slashes Fang Ping had slashed. Everything happened in the blink of an eye. Fang Ping withdrew his saber, standing proudly. Yao Qingjun shook his head slightly, saying nothing. Until now, Fang Ping could still unleash his full strength. Although his last spear was extremely lethal against Fang Ping still managed to shatter the spear glow after more than 10 slashes. At this moment, Yao Qingjun still maintained a certain level of combat strength. Even if his vitality was greatly depleted, just the physical strength of the bodybuilding technique that had been cultivated to the peak was enough to easily tear apart the average rank for martial artist. However, against Fang Ping, if he continued to fight, he would only be humiliating himself. "I've lost." Yao Qingjun exhaled softly, turned around, and walked toward the team. He had lost. The moment he turned around, Fang Ping forcefully swallowed the blood in his mouth. To win, one must look cool. Yao Qingjuan's multiple outbursts had also caused his internal organs to suffer significant injuries. Although Fang Ping could still fight now, the internal injuries were too severe. Even if he took pills, it would not be easy to recover. He coughed softly. While others were not paying attention, Fang Ping covered his mouth with his hand and swallowed a resurrection pill. After a while, he felt that his internal organs were no longer burning. Fang Ping wins. The referee announced the result. He landed on the ground and looked at Fang Ping. "Do you want to continue?" "Of course." Fang Ping smiled easily, as if he was unharmed. Some of the wounds on his body did not seem to belong to him. The referee gave him a deep look. "You've just swallowed a resurrection pill, kid, and you're still pretending." However, Fang Ping wanted to continue, so he did not say anything. Soon, he announced the start of the second round. In the second round, FMS's opponent was Bai Su. Against Bai Su, Fang Ping seemed to fight even more fiercely than before. Every slash of his saber unleashed a strong saber glow. This made everyone from FMS look helpless. It was as if Yao Qingjun did not hurt Fong Ping at all. No matter how bad Fong Ping's royal decapitation cultivation was, it would not be worse than Bai Su's. Coupled with his powerful vitality force, he was suppressing his opponent from start to finish. After slashing dozens of times, Bai Su had nowhere to run. He was sent flying by Fong Ping's saber, bleeding profusely. Continue. The third and fourth person met Fong Ping, and they were almost finished within 3 slashes. After the fifth person went on stage, Fong Ping's mentality, which he had not used before, suddenly exploded again, shocking his opponent so much that his mind went blank. He was sent flying by Fong Ping with 1 slash, falling to the ground and unable to stand up. Magic City Martial Arts University wins. The referee announced loudly. Other than Fong Ping and Yao Qingjun fighting for a long time, the rest of the battle ended extremely quickly. Fong Ping smiled and nodded at his surroundings, walking down the stage with ease. He defeated FMS alone and defeated the 3rd place in the ranking list. At this moment, would there still be people who doubted that Fong Ping's strength was not worthy of being the first in rank 4? On the grandstand, Wang Jinyang, Li Hansong, and the rest looked slightly solemn. If they met Fong Ping, it would probably be a tough fight. Chapter 350. When he returned to the team, Tang Feng walked over, glanced at him, and asked in a low voice, "Are you okay?" Fong Ping shook his head slightly. The injury was not too serious. However, this did not mean that Yao Qingjun was weak. If Fong Ping did not injure his mentality, the battle would not have ended so quickly. Even so, Yao Qingjun's spear technique was sharp, and the internal explosion of qi still injured Fong Ping's internal organs. If FMS had another powerhouse like Yao Qingjun, Fong Ping might be in trouble. There was a limit to how thick his skin was. It was not like he could not be beaten to death. Fong Ping shook his head. Qin Fengqing, who was beside him, curled his lips and said, "Just show off. You're bleeding so much that you could take a bath." As he said that, he did not give Fong Ping a chance to refute and said immediately, "Give me back my saber." Fong Ping did not waste any time and threw the saber over. As for bleeding so much that he could take a bath, he would get used to it. It was not the first time anyway. Qin Fengqing caught it and examined it carefully. Then he said with a pained expression, Look, there are so many scratches. It's not that your saber doesn't hurt, but you had to pretend. If you didn't take the last shot, you would have lost." V-Class alloy sabers were not so easily broken. Nicks did not appear easily. But scratches, they were unavoidable. In the intense confrontation, Yao Qingjun's spear was not bad either. There were many visible scratches on the saber. Fong Ping said impatiently, "What's wrong with a few scratches over 10 million? 1 million is enough for 1 scratch. Stop talking nonsense." Qin Fengqing wanted to curse. He did not see any money. If he saw 10 million, he would stop talking nonsense. Fong Ping ignored him because the battle between CCMAU and NMAU was about to begin. Now, both sides were preparing. In CCMAU's team, at this moment, the Grandmaster personally came down and said softly, "Don't be distracted by Fong Ping and the others. Just do your best." Li Hansong nodded and exhaled. "Dean, don't worry. Although Fong Ping is strong, he's not so strong that I can't defeat him. We'll only know who wins and who loses after the battle." "That's good. But be careful against Wang Jinyang." "I know." Li Hansong glanced at Wang Jinyang from afar. At this moment, Wang Jinyang was stroking his saber alone, while the other NMU members wore expressions of unwillingness and helplessness. NMU could only rely on Wang Jinyang. Even if Lan Wufeng went on stage, it would only take 1 punch. The second battle soon began. This time, Old Master Fu was no longer the commentator. The commentator was MCMU's Luo Yichuan. Luo Yichuan gave high praise to both of them. But in the end, he said, Wang Jinyang is from NMAU. It's not easy for him to grow to this point in a university like Nanjiang Martial Arts University. This has nothing to do with talent. No matter how talented he is, if he doesn't work hard, it'll be hard for Wang Jinyang to get to this point. Wang Jinyang was very talented and had a bone marrow mutation. However, a bone marrow mutation did not mean that one would definitely become an expert. If one did not work hard, even if one was given a golden body, one would still be trash. NMU's conditions could not compare to these elite schools. Wang Jinyang had not been left behind by the others, not because NMU had specially taken care of him, but because he had gone deep into the catacombs many times to fight and kill, seizing opportunities on his own. In the arena, as soon as the two of them got on the stage, their auras reached an extreme. Li Hansong's aura was extremely strong, and Wang Jinyang wasn't any weaker than him. This surprised many experts. Li Hansong had also achieved this through fighting. Previously, he had reached the 7th rank in rank 4. Wang Jinyang did not attack much. It was rare for him to be able to accumulate strength to this extent. Seeing that the two of them had no intention of speaking, the referee did not delay and shouted, "Begin!" As soon as he finished speaking, a saber light pierced through the void, as if it was going to split the sky, and descended in the blink of an eye. It was Wang Jinyang's saber. However, what was even more shocking was Li Hansong. At this moment, Li Hansong's head suddenly glowed with a golden light. The golden light instantly covered his entire body and then gathered on his fist. Li Hansong leaped into the air, causing the stage to sink into the ground. In the next moment, Li Hansong raised his fist towards the sky. The intense golden light caused countless people to close their eyes. Rumble! The sound of an explosion instantly rang out. Some of the spectators in the distance only felt nauseous and uncomfortable. As soon as the two of them went up the stage, they used their ultimate moves. At this moment, Lu Dali moved in front of Fong Ping and opened his mouth to ask. Fong Ping shouted, "Shut up!" Who would have the time to deal with him? Both of them were likely to be his next opponents. Against such opponents, it was better to see their strength first. Lu Dali was speechless and could only raise his head to look at the sky. He could not see anything. The fight was so boring. In midair, all he could see was a blood-red glow and a golden glow colliding nonstop. Deafening booms could be heard continuously, shaking the bodies of those who were closer. Lu Dali also felt a little pressured. Fong Ping, on the other hand, was fine. He also raised his head to watch. Both of them had unleashed their full strength once they got on the stage. Wang Jinyang's saber was extremely fast and strong, but Li Hansong's skull was naturally formed. It was almost the rhythm of a half-golden body. When he unleashed his power, the power of his iron fist was also shocking. The 40-meter-long saber is coming. Just as Lu Dali was watching in boredom, Fong Ping murmured. Then, a thick blood-red saber light appeared in midair again. Ha! Li Hansong's roar resounded through the sky and earth. Above his head, the golden light was like the sun, causing many low-ranked martial artists to cry. He's also something that can take a beating. Fong Ping murmured again. Li Hansong's skull was naturally formed. His flesh even had some indestructible characteristics. At this moment, when he unleashed his full strength, when the blood-red saber light fell, Li Hansong neither dodged nor retreated. His golden fist punched the saber light fiercely. There was more than one saber light. When Li Hansong shattered the first one, very quickly, the second saber light fell. The second one, the third one. After 7 or 8 consecutive slashes, both of them gradually landed on the stage. At this moment, the silent Wang Jinyang suddenly let out a low roar. His entire body shone with a blood-red glow. The sound of the great river's waves came from his body. That was the sound of blood flowing. Walala, it was hard to imagine that a person's blood flow could produce such a turbulent sound. Luo Yichuan said quickly, "Bone marrow like mercury. It's true to its name." The reason why he said this was because although Fong Ping was also known as having bone marrow like mercury, he did not seem to have any special effects. At least, it was not as flashy as Wang Jinyang. Fong Ping saw that Wang Jinyang's entire body seemed to be covered in vitality. He was stunned for a moment, then he cursed silently. What was he showing off for? Speaking of which, he did not seem to know this move. Didn't bone marrow like mercury only speed up the recovery of vitality? It could also stimulate vitality and make vitality more vigorous? At this moment, both of them were exhibiting strange phenomena. One was like a golden god of war. The other was like a blood-red devil. From the looks of it, Fang Ping and Yao Qingjuan's mentality confrontation was much better. The confrontation of mentality was formless and intangible. Unless one had reached the Grandmaster level, one would not be able to materialize it. Ordinary people would not understand it. The blood-red silhouette and the golden silhouette intertwined constantly. Li Hansong's iron fist and Wang Jinyang's glaive slashed the stage from time to time. Even though the stage was covered in A-grade alloy, faint cracks appeared on it. After all, it was not the alloy used to forge weapons. When both of them unleashed their full power, they had nothing to worry about. Their strength was no weaker than a middle stage and upper stage rank 5 powerhouse. Slash! Just as everyone was dazzled by the scene, Wang Jinyang's cold roar was heard. When martial artists fought, they would often roar in order to release the pressure they were under. After a cold roar, everyone could only see the blood-red saber light rapidly obliterating the golden fist light. The winner is about to be decided, Tang Feng said in a low voice. Before he finished speaking, Li Hansong also roared. An even more intense light appeared on his fist. Boom! Both of them attacked with all their might. The blood-red and golden silhouettes shot out at the same time. At this moment, some grandmasters attacked directly, covering the spectator area with a layer of mentality barrier. Both figures collided with the mentality barrier, and another loud sound was heard. The next moment, a blood-red light shot up into the sky from afar. Wang Jinyang stopped retreating. The vitality force on the surface of his body became denser, and the sound of blood flowing became clearer. His saber slashed down. Before the saber light arrived, a huge crack appeared on the ground. Li Hansong also shot up into the sky. Both his fists bombarded rapidly, but they were continuously pressed down. Wang Jinyang's saber exploded again and again. After a few times, Li Hansong was pressed down into the ground, creating a deep pit. Exploded mud and rocks flew everywhere. At this moment, Wang Jinyang had already rushed over. The glaive in his hand no longer emitted a vitality glow. He raised his saber and slashed at Li Hansong's fists. Sparks flew again. Some of the obstacles in the surroundings were quickly ignited, but they were quickly destroyed by the Grandmaster Powerhouse's mentality. Following the slashes, Li Hansong sank deep into the ground. As both of them fought, they sank directly into the ground. The spectators craned their necks to look. Fang Ping's mentality transformed into a gossamer and drifted around the surroundings, continuing to watch the battle. Bursts of explosions came from the ground. A few seconds later, a figure dashed out. Wang Jinyang staggered slightly. Blood gushed out of his mouth, and the color on his body dissipated. At this moment, the spectators could clearly see that there was a clear fist mark on his chest. His sternum was slightly caved in, and the clothes in the middle of his chest had long been torn apart. The spectators were a little confused. Did he win or lose? Soon, they had an answer. In the deep pit, after a while, Li Hansong leaped out of the ground with great effort. Compared to Wang Jinyang, Li Hansong did not seem to have any external injuries. However, the spectators who saw him directly could not help but exclaim. At this moment, Li Hansong's face looked like it had been sliced open by a saber. Golden light surged, healing the wound continuously. However, he did not have the recovery ability of a golden body powerhouse. At this moment, the wound had not been healed completely. The clear-cut saber mark was still frightening. Wang Jinyang had slashed his head. This bastard is cheating. Fang Ping could not help but mutter. This Li Hansong fellow's iron head technique was really awesome. After being slashed by Wang Jinyang's saber, he was not cut in half. The injury was not too serious either. It looked horrifying, but in reality, it was not too serious. This iron head technique was really enviable. As Fang Ping said this, A few people around him rolled their eyes and looked at him. Others could say that, but Fang Ping did not. In the arena, Wang Jinyang looked at Li Hansong. Li Hansong did not say much. He turned and walked out of the arena. He had lost. Although the injury was not serious enough to kill him, his skull was slightly cracked. If he continued to fight now, it would be a matter of life and death. As soon as Li Hansong entered the arena, the referee descended from the sky and announced loudly, Wang Jinyang wins. Continue? Wang Jinyang's expression did not change. He nodded and said, Continue. CCMU's number 2, a powerhouse in the top 100, Qin Zhe, did not delay. He passed by Li Hansong, nodded slightly, and stepped into the midair step. As soon as he entered the arena, Qin Zhe unleashed his full strength. Vitality force surged out, and his saber struck. Boom! Wang Jinyang raised his saber to counterattack, but he took a few steps back. He frowned slightly, blood spurting from his chest. Opposite him, Qin Zhe's expression was slightly solemn. Without delay, he continued to attack wildly. Wang Jinyang dodged a few times, but the Chongdao in his hand did not attack again. After a few minutes of entanglement, Wang Jinyang suddenly pulled out his saber. A huge saber glow appeared again, and the saber struck. Fresh blood gushed out of Qin Zhe's mouth. He flew backward for a distance, but he attacked again. Wang Jinyang coughed, waved his saber again, and did the same thing again and again. Qin Zhe's body was covered with many saber marks that were so deep that bones could be seen. Finally, he could not fight anymore and had to leave the arena. After defeating 2 people consecutively, Wang Jinyang was actually an arrow at the end of its flight. On the grandstand, Fang Ping frowned slightly and said, If this goes on, his foundation will be damaged. Wang Jinyang was very strong. Fang Ping had to admit that. Li Hansong's ability was not weaker than Yao Qingjuan's, maybe even stronger. Of course, both of them had not fought, so it was hard to say. Yao Qingjuan was at a disadvantage on Fang Ping's side because his strong point, mentality, was restrained. If he encountered Li Hansong, however, that was a huge advantage. It was hard to say who would win and who would lose. Wang Jinyang was slightly stronger than Li Hansong, but after defeating Li Hansong, he was also heavily injured. Then, he encountered Qin Zhe's desperate fighting style. If this went on, his internal injuries would be extremely serious. CCMU still had a peak rank 4. Even if he was not as good as Qin Zhe and the others, a peak rank for martial artist was not someone the heavily injured Wang Jinyang could easily defeat. Tang Feng shook his head slightly and said, Maybe he doesn't want to encounter you. Yao Qingjun is injured, but you look fine. He still has a chance against Yao Qingjun. FMS's overall ability is not as good as ours, but against us, it will be difficult. If NMU lost this time, they would encounter MCMAU. MCMU's Chun Wenlong and the others were all unharmed. Fang Ping had also defeated Yao Qingjun, so Wang Jinyang would be very difficult to fight. On the other hand, if they defeated CCMAU and fought FMS next, they might have a chance to enter the finals. While Fang Ping and Tang Feng were talking, Wang Jinyang chose to continue. This battle was even more difficult. Wang Jinyang dodged his opponent's attacks a few times, starting to focus on evasion. However, he was still hit a few times by his opponent, and the injury on his chest became more serious. Finally, Wang Jinyang exploded again, defeating his opponent with 1 slash and severely injuring the 3rd person from CCMAU. Next, before Wang Jinyang could finish his sentence, NMU's old vice-chancellor suddenly said, Give up. Wang Jinyang turned his head to look. NMU's vice-chancellor shook his head lightly. If this continued, Wang Jinyang would miss the golden period of cultivation. Serious injuries could not be easily healed by pills. Take Bai Ruoshi, for example. Previously, her internal injuries were too serious and she had to recuperate for more than half a year. A hint of struggle flashed in Wang Jinyang's eyes. He did not persist and stepped down from the arena, sighing in his heart. After Wang Jinyang retreated, CCMU's side also breathed a sigh of relief. Everyone could almost predict the outcome of the next match. The reality was as expected. 2 upper stage rank for martial artists against 1 early stage rank 4 and 3 rank 3 martial artists and not peak rank 3. Such a battle would almost certainly not go wrong. Although Lan Wufeng fought with all his might, he was still no match for an upper stage rank for Powerhouse. In the end, a sword pierced through his right arm and he fell to the ground. Even if the remaining 3 fought with all their might, it would only take a few moves from each of them. Group B's last battle made people sigh. Wang Jinyang defeated 3 peak rank for powerhouses, but NMU still lost. The disparity between the schools as a whole was vividly reflected. If only one person could help, they would not have lost. A few minutes later, the referee announced loudly, "Capital City Martial Arts University wins." The CCMU students outside the stadium did not cheer. This battle was a little embarrassing for them. MCMU's Fong Ping had defeated FMS by himself. FMS was much more famous than NMAU. On the other hand, when CCMU fought NMAU, all 3 peak rank 4 were defeated by one person. In the end, CCMU only won when it reached the 4th person. It was a difficult victory, and there was even a moment of danger of defeat. At this moment, no matter how you looked at it, CCMU seemed to be inferior to MCMAU. Brother Wong, this means that either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, the 2 of us are going to fight. At this point in the competition, MCMAU would fight NMAU, and CCMU would fight FMS. It was just a matter of drawing lots to see who would go first. Tomorrow and the day after, there would be a match each day. After saying that, Fong Ping frowned slightly. "Can your injuries heal so quickly?" Wang Jinyang's face was pale. He smiled and said, "We'll just have to wait and see." Fong Ping smiled and caressed the saber at his waist. He shook his head slightly. "I might not be able to use this saber." Wang Jinyang's injuries were not light, and so was Li Hansong. If Li Hansong fought Yao Qingjun again, even if he won, he might not have much energy left. On the other hand, he had not suffered any serious injuries until now. With such a tight competition schedule, it was not just about strength, but also about endurance. The others' recovery abilities were not as good as his. When it came to the finals, they might not be able to go all out. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.